click and remind me to update player window if necessary. I mean, I'll just zoom out on every map and that's probably easier. Okay. How to... Alright. Let's pause. BGM... Stop. Okay. There we go. And then play 2 sets of commands. Alright. So... Welcome back to Curse of Strahd Session 6, everyone. Somehow all of you survived the first part of
somehow.
this. Somehow it was a very close shave several times.
The DM want us to die. God.
It was a very close shave for several times. I have KO'd you guys in more short order than I've ever done in all of the OIP.
It's because you don't have Shao.
I need to put up like a counter of how many times Corin went down in this campaign.
It's like Corin down counter at this point is two.
I'm gonna keep that somewhere.
Just put it in your notes. Corin KO counter. You should all put like KO counter how many.
Yeah, let me write that on my notes in other.
Who has a 0 KO counter? It's Arcus and Vienna.
KO counter. right below my HP roll.
He's the tankiest tank, and Arcus
it's not that she's tanky. It's just that nothing wants to hit her. Everything goes to Corin. I don't know, man.
I know, man. Why?
She even stood in front and tried to take the hits. like a proper tank should.
Tank difference. Alright, so I don't think we really need to recap what happened of the last action arc, but you guys have a chance for a reasonable long rest at the Durst Mansion, what remains of it. You managed to scrounge up, if you want, like something like actual blankets, and you can shake the dust and must off it. To sleep in some reasonable comfort on the floor if you don't want to take a bed. Arcus has left me some notes in terms of what he's doing in the background. He says he would like to just make sure that, advise that you all sleep together in like the hunting den so that you can get out fast if needed. In the night, as well, Arcus and Corin went on a little side trip to gather some materials for Arcus's new fine familiar. Who's the littlest? Who is the smallest person in the party?
How tall is everyone?
I've never thought about how tall, but elves are normally pretty tall, so...
I actually made Corin quite tall, holy shit. I just saw.
Who knows?
The answer is Zato.
The answer is Zato.
Okay, Zato's the little spoon.
Zato is the little spoon.
Well, I want to be the little spoon.
Alright. But who do you want to be who's your big spoon?
Imagine it would be like a big spoon train.
Oh, okay. Big spoon train?
Yeah. I will be the smallest one.
No, Vienna's gonna be like the biggest one because no one can spoon.
Vienna technically doesn't even need to sleep.
That's true.
On a normal
no, so it's just the 3 dudes that's spooning.
And she's like meditating. She's just meditating. I don't know, Vienna. How do you sleep?
Sitting up.
Sitting up. It's bad for your back.
Do you not want to spoon?
It's bad for your back, but also consider you're in a foreign place which you have no idea how you got here. No, what else could be waiting for you?
I mean, technically, the littlest spoon is Galahad, so Zato can hug Doggo if he wants.
Me.
But we now have a new little spoon.
I don't think he's gonna spoon.
I don't know.
Alright. So in the night, while you're various resting, or taking turns to, watch perhaps. But when you all rest, can you all individually just roll me a
Roll.
charisma? Yes. Not a save. Not a save. Just not a save. Just a charisma.
Oh no.
Great charisma roll.
Charisma.
Okay.
McNorme.
Nope. Nope.
You have a +1.
Okay.
Oh, someone's worse.
Alright, so Virna and Zato, you kind of have some dreams. You know, you dream your various dreams or lack of them, or dreams or nightmares or lack of them. But at some point also there is a moment that you kind of vaguely remember later in the morning, where you feel like you're sitting in some sort of dark room with a table in front of you and a pair of hands shuffling a deck of cards. And eventually they just wordlessly deal you one card face down and a second card face down. And it flips over one, and you see the face of a rather naive-looking young woman painted on the card, staring up with you with that kind of a very innocent smile. And then you flip over. I mean, the hands flip over the second card, and on it is a picture of someone who looks like a man of the cloth, an acolyte or a priest. There are no words spoken in that dream, and you don't feel a sense of like being able to move necessarily. It just kind of fades out on its own as you kind of sink back into your normal rest. Virna, in particular, you recognize the first cut. Yes.
Interesting.
So you wake up in the morning, long rested, although still like but you know, from your various bing bang bong shenanigans of the previous day. Who's an early riser?
The one who only sleeps for 4 hours for one thing.
Well, I would say Corin can be out of habit from the army.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the last one. Since I was pretty banged out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Corin coughs here.
So you, Corin and Virna, probably your internal body clock tends to be a bit more regimented. You know, like okay, X time, then up to go, ready to go, and that kind of thing. You look out the windows of the house from where you're resting, and you kind of notice that like it feels like it should be brighter outside at this time than it is, but it's still very much like dim daylight, only slowly rising. You're not really sure what time it is, you know. But it's not that's like normally you wake, but normally you have a sense of like by now the sun should be further up, you know. But it's kind of like the sun is slower, so it's question mark, or it's just there's just too much fog. You see that outside the fog around the surrounding area, and just the general overcast sky that hasn't stopped being overcast since you first came here. And Virna, as you did yesterday, you find it's actually, this is definitely a comfortable level of light. A very comfortable level of outdoor light for you.
Comfy sun.
Comfy. It's like it's very novel, you know. Like, I don't even need to put my hood over, you know, and I don't need to squint. You know, I can actually see. You know.
Basically, my hood is just convenient.
Your hood is just convenient to be sudere. I mean, to be. Zato, make a perception check.
What? I'm sleeping though.
Just make a perception check. At disadvantage, I would say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, it's definitely.
Oh.
So you don't realize this when you get up and try to walk. Your shoelaces are tied together.
What?
Ah. So early in the morning and you already lose 1 HP? I haven't even woken up and you lost 1 HP. My god, man.
Arcus also, I suppose, is sleeping in a bit, being an older man, being an Osan with slightly more aching bones. Kind of like sleepy, yawning, looking at everyone, cautiously, saying, all right, this is good morning. I suppose is everyone all right? Feeling better?
Elmin punching in the room. Alright. Who did this? Who's the prankster here?
I think it's written bot.
Bot died.
Yeah, bot went left. Yeah.
Okay, Clouds, you wanna open your camera or something?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I said I got many balls to juggle.
It's okay.
So
So Zato barges into the room.
Corin, you might have an idea what happened.
Yeah. Where is said perpetrator?
You can make a perception check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yes, the
No.
perpetrator is very good at hiding.
I can see the word.
You see the bastard. You don't really see the bastard, but
Oh no, that was a crit. That was another nat 20 advantage.
you're just burning
I
all
satch
the
now.
crits. You're just
I satch now. So I see him.
You don't see him per se, but you do notice, hovering behind Arcus, there, the air seems a little slightly, shimmery, and you hear a faint high-pitched giggle.
There's a familiar giggle.
It's a Mickey voice.
It's the Mickey voice. Yeah, guys, we're getting the Mickey voice again.
Can everyone hear the Mickey voice? Or is it just Corin?
I think Vienna's passive perception is... Oh no, it's 13. I thought it was 17. That's run.
No man, I don't have that high passive
You
perception.
can make a perception check, sure. This is for hearing, I guess.
I can hear into forever.
You hear the giggle.
No, the
You hear a
question,
Mickey Mouse giggle.
the question is, do I want to grab the giggle? I don't know what it is. Corin knows what it is. I don't know what it is.
What would you like to do? You hear the giggle and you see this small shimmer of the air behind Arcus. So almost be hovering behind his shoulder.
Things. Do I want to use my first spell slot of the day already? Seriously,
Corin,
consider this.
Corin will kind of just walk to
you can let me know
Arcus's
whether
general
you instantly react or you take a moment to react.
I mean, it's not particularly, what's the word here? Malign. Because if not, well, Zato wouldn't be coming here going, oh, okay, who's doing this? So, if it does anything
Stab.
hostile, no, not stab. I will I will use Fairy Fire.
Wow. This is why he noted to me, do not prank Vi. Note, quote, Vi seems dangerous.
Vi is very dangerous.
So yeah, so when you're kind of pausing for a moment to consider the threat level, you see Arcus actually turn around to the Shimmer and be like, Ivan, and raises an eyebrow, and then you see an imp actually materialize behind Arcus. Go, that was fun, and just perches on Arcus' shoulder and looks around at Vienna and Zato. Is like, hello, I'm for sticking out with you guys.
Taking out.
What? Sorry.
He was like, I found what's sticking out, you guys?
I'm sticking around with you guys for a while.
pulled out a crossbow and aim at him. At
Whoa, whoa,
it? At
whoa.
her?
It hurt.
I would say Corin kind of raises up his hand. He's like, whoa, 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 just put it down. Put it down.
Arcus also like kind of like a little less panicky, but just like holds up a card.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. He's a companion of sorts. A new companion of sorts. He's here to assist. In a sense. Arcus seems also
But
like a
did you
little bit
get that?
Arcus seems a little bit unsure himself also, but like, you know, like, okay.
I'm actually contemplating would Corin be like, would Corin say like, it's a cult thing? Because that's literally what happened yesterday. Corin asked Arcus like, are you a cultist, sir?
And he's like, sort of.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, you know what Corin would just say? It's a cult thing. Like, very unsure as he looks over at Arcus.
If you say it's a cult thing, it because Vienna sort of like narrow her eyes because normally cult's bad, you know.
Wait, you're in a cult, old man?
He's like, I suppose in a manner of speaking, it's not exactly. He's like thinking, like contemplating, like how is he in a cult? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
Now, in another world, it is
If you
a
have to
cult.
think about it, it is.
In another world, Aiden is like praise the fiend.
Aiden is like, it's not a cult, it's a religion. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's like it's not a cult. He just does things for my master.
Wait, your master? So old man isn't your master?
Of course not. I'm his senior. He looked like the in huffs and fulls. And like, this new guy, I'm gonna show him the ropes. Arcus just has that kind of like very patient, like hi, small child kind of expression. Like eat fine.
Do I know anything about imps?
Sure. You can roll Arcana with advantage because you're a blood hunter. I would say
Do I know anything about him?
you can roll it. Not
Ooh, thank God.
the duality of roll.
Actually, did I have? Oh wait, I did roll for it when I first met. Him.
You're just like devil.
I dumped.
And then it's like,
demon!
Demon, and then actually it's a devil.
Yeah,
It's
I forgot.
it's different.
Demon.
So, both of you at least know the difference, like, you know, the difference between demons and devils. Devils are creatures from the nine hells and, you know, that sort of whole mess of very hot plains, and demons are from the abyss, which is a great, you can be simplified as a great big hole in the multiverse of horrible creatures inside. Zato, you know that generally, you know, imps are not, what's the word? They are generally used as servants a lot by other greater devils, but also by people who are of you know, like wizards or, you know, those of us with an arcane talent. They have some ways of like binding people to imps to their will, or signing a contract with them, you know, and the imps will usually follow the contract to the letter, you know.
Does it involve sacrifice?
To summon an imp, no, you don't really need to like kill someone to summon an imp. You can just generally, you know,
Sacrifice a lot of gold.
How true.
I mean, there
But
are
I know
certain not.
how extreme is
You would still sacrifice a lot of
contract?
gold.
You don't necessarily need to go to extremes, but those who are capable of summoning imps usually have a question of that means that they have some sort of relationship with some greater devil. You know, yeah. Because the average wizard who summons a familiar, I mean, the familiar is like some fey animal or that sort of thing, like a cat or a dog or a bat. To summon an actual imp is some association with someone from the Nine Hells, maybe.
However, Arcus has horns.
Yeah, and Arcus has horns, so you know he's got like tiefling heritage as well. So there is some fiendish heritage to his apparently, to his appearance. But yeah, so to sum it up, basically, like people who can summon imps generally have like shady ties to the literal underworld. Not the criminal underworld, but the underworld. You know, and not a lot of them tend to be trustworthy, or at least as far as you know. Because if you're dealing with devils, it begs the question of like, what have you been up to? What kind of deals you've been cutting there, bro?
Okay.
Yeah.
Zato goes. An imp, eh, old man? I mean, I don't mean to pry on your matters, but I do hope you know what you're doing. An imp is not my first choice of familiar.
He kind of like trying to think of like how to well, I wouldn't say I had it wasn't exactly a choice per se so much as a gift, unrequested. But and then Ivan's like, hey, what do you take me for, garbage? And
Vienna goes emergency rations.
I was like, oh, you really wouldn't enjoy the taste. I'm just saying it'd burn a bit. But he's looking a little warily at you, like he's keeping like some 2-foot distance and that kind of thing from you.
Corin is trying to hold in from my breathing and laughing out loud.
Slowly writes the another lot. Your imp is now emergency rations.
Yes, emergency Paimon.
It is Paimon.
It's 5
I love him already.
It's like
Right.
he wrote here. It seems dangerous. It very seems dangerous, but attempt to flirt with her. I'm like, I feel like the danger level for him to flirt might be even too high. Even
That's how you end up being emergency rations and dinner.
Yes. So he seems like a mischievous sort, and kind of like he has the ability to turn invisible, when he likes, and kind of like pesters may or may not pesters Zato occasionally with that. But things like pranking, like nefarious things, including pranking, like tying your shoelaces before you wake up, because somebody was sleeping really sound. So, hand waving on that. What would you guys like to do? The day is now, it's at least light enough outside that it looks like even the humans can travel to venture out and see a decent distance. Admittedly through a quite heavy mist that still blankets the area.
Can they see anyone? Can they see past the gates from where they are? From the hunting lodge room?
You look around and like some, at least like compared to the night and the day before, it has at least cleared up enough that you can even see a bit of the road down the hill.
Any people?
Nope.
What's the? Oh no, I forgot. What's the city nearby?
What's the what?
The nearby city.
Nearby city.
You did remember Rose kind of mentioning that the nearest town, or rather the nearest village, is a place called Barovia.
Barovia. That's
Yes. She said it was not too far from there. Although, if I would say who's got the highest passive insight, it's not super great.
Passive insight?
I
Mine's-
guess
mine's 10.
Vierna's is at least 13. So, Vierna,
Mine's is 10.
she said it was not too far, but you do bear in mind that she is fairly young and seems to, noting that there was at some point a carriage on the grounds. You're not entirely sure if she meant on foot or by horse carriage.
Mm.
Oof.
I mean, but considering the fact that they couldn't see it, they couldn't see anything the last time they were on the road. It might be worth trying anyway.
Okay. Alright, so you guys, unless anyone wants to stay in the house for longer. it's an empty house, it's your house now, no. You guys set out, all four with, full water skins, some remaining amount of the extremely bland food. You don't feel at least like super hungry, but it's not. You don't feel very satisfied either. Eating it. As you walk, the skies are maintain their very general grey outlook. What is your marching order? As in first, second, third, fourth kind of thing. Or the more think remember what we did for Isle Cross in terms of like who is scouting, who is doing stuff other than scouting, who is watching the back line.
Probably those people who have sharpest eyes are better for scouting. Which normally, unfortunately,
I
means
mean, I could, but I'm not very wise.
you don't need to be very wise. You could just be very keen.
I'm not very keen.
You can be very keen. Because
Because I'm not wise, I'm gonna do it.
Because you're not wise, you're gonna do
so
it.
far.
Yes.
Alright. So
All you need is overconfidence and a dream.
Alright. So, you guys head out, following the road. Make a perception check if you're scouting, and those who are not scouting, what are you doing?
Who's leading the way again? Sorry.
That was almost good.
Okay, that's alright. That's alright.
I'm looking at that. I suppose the trees and all within the area. Is there any mistletoe and anything with that's growing mistletoe?
Investigation.
Uh,
I was looking at the second row. Oops.
Oh yeah, you're not rolling at disadvantage.
Life sucks. Life
Yeah,
sucks.
you can't search. So far, you don't find mistletoe in particular yet. Although you do notice at least, like looking through here, the vegetation compared to before you entered through the massive gates is at least actual vegetation at this point. You see like, evergreen type trees, although they don't look super happy.
Corin picks up mud. Is this vegetation?
It's really funny because they were looking for herbs. They were looking for herbs yesterday in the lawn, and he rolled like what 5 on nature. So
I think so.
Picks up chunk of mud. Is this a plant?
Is this vegetation that you're looking
A plant
for?
before it becomes a plant, I guess.
It could have seeds inside,
Yeah, but I would say Corin, like Nafi, will usually take the bag to protect anything.
Okay. So you make a perception for the back.
Okay.
So that's why we don't get good berry, guys, because I can't find mistletoe.
Oh no!
For now. Actually, sorry, I shouldn't have had you roll investigation. I should have had you roll survival. What's your survival bonus?
My survival bonus is +3.
Same.
Yeah, so
Same.
no difference.
Same.
It's the same because
Yeah.
it just so happens that my modifier is the same.
Yeah. So, actually, yeah, I forgot to mention this, Vienna. During your meditations at the night as well, you do, a familiar voice at some point just kind of like murmurs like, you did well. And when you kind of finish your meditation, there's a strange sense of like a little extra power suffusing you. You're not entirely sure of its origins. And
Which is also why, if you think about it, the moment she saw the imp, she thinks herself, and mentioned a cult, she's like, am I in a cult? So true.
The spoilers is everyone is in a cult, and you're all actually competing cults.
That's why she's like, I heard this voice, it said I did well, now I feel like, oh, am I in a cult? Things
That would
deep.
be a sick plot.
The real ultimate cultist was Corey.
It is I all along.
You know, but yeah, so you do find that you know when you're like kind of like doing little like exercise, I don't know, warm up exercises for the day with your your some of your magic and that sort of thing, you kind of find you can. There's a few extra things you seem to be able to draw on, oddly. You know, maybe it's from the strange nature of the earth here, or we're not entirely sure, but it could be useful. That sort of thing.
Like how she almost used it against the imp.
Kafush.
What is the name of the imp again?
All
Ivan?
right, he introduced
Ivan.
himself as Ivan. Yes. The imp kind of like flits invisibly generally, and sometimes just hangs out as a spider on Arcus's shoulder.
Polymorph?
He can turn into you see him, he can poof into like a spider, poof, and then sometimes he poofs into like an actual bat and like messes around with Zato's hair, like swoops and pluck like one hair or something.
I swear I'm gonna kill you one day.
Corin is just happy, like he's not messing with him this time.
Arcus has 4 children to 4 children to corral, but yeah. So Ivan is helping with the scouting. So I think Corin, you can choose to reroll that because you can see that Ivan is helping you.
Oh yay!
Yep.
Fuck my lunch.
It's not great, you know, but it's been a day. I forgot to ask if you wanted to salvage some kind of footwear from the house, or you're continuing.
Oh yeah. I do. I would probably, like, even if it's to take like the those armor ones.
Yeah, so you managed to salvage something. Like, they're not really, you find as you kind of dismantle them, you find that not really like, it's not as like very decorative armor. You could probably like, you whack it, it's gonna dent very easily, but it's better than nothing. And they come with like, you know, the metal plates actually go over like a kind of a shoe underneath. You know,
okay.
so
Okay. I was like,
you're wearing that
okay.
shoe, you know, so
Okay.
with the plate still attached on it, but it's so you're like, it's like, you know, it's not super clanky like you're like wearing an entire suit of armor. So you know,
but I'll say he keeps the foot wraps too and just like slide them
they're
into
like socks.
extra padding.
It's
Yeah.
like socks, yes. They're a little
It's like
oversized
socks.
for you, so it makes sense, you know. Yeah. They seem to be made for like bigger. So no mistletoe. Jato wants to kill Ivan. Yeah.
Eh.
So as you guys travel, you know, at some point you do see, you know, flock of birds startle overhead and go into a different direction. And the forest finally starts to thin out into you're like, oh, finally, like, you know, like it's actually something else besides like thick trees and mist. You can actually start to see an extending view further ahead. As the forest kind of opens out into a more very scraggly, kind of scrubby grassland and plains. And you can see very far into the distance, like the long line of a river to your left. What looks like a settlement, quite far off in the distance. Like you can see it, but if you do a distance estimate, it's gonna take you like most of the day, maybe more than most of the day to get there. You might make it there in the day, in the day if you hurry, if you like kind of move at a fast pace. And you also notice that overlooking that settlement are these high stone cliffs, steep, almost to vertical, and at the very top of one of them, there's some kind of strange structure you can't quite make out from this distance. The road continues on and seems to wind its way towards that settlement.
Is there any sense of life in the settlement from the distance that we are? Any smoke that might denote fires in kitchens and whatnot?
Make a survival check, I guess, in this count, because you're kind of like looking for a trail. Okay, so first of all, based on your wilderness assessment, that's at least from where you are a good like I wrote the mileage here. It's like grabs the mileage. 28 miles, or maybe under a little under 30 miles ahead. So you can't really, you don't know if you can see like smoke or not, but that doesn't seem like the buildings are necessarily, they seem in shape. There's no like big blast of explosion or anything. Like it looks like a constructed settlement. It's
No
hard to
eldritch blast.
Eldritch blast. You think maybe you do see a couple of tendrils of smoke, maybe, but it's really hard to tell from such a long distance, even with your elf eyes. What do your elf eyes see, Fiona?
Twins.
Yeah, but it's something. It does not look like it's been devastated. Yeah. Maybe if you were nighttime, you could tell easier because then you could see like lights or like fire light or that sort of thing. But since it's kind of that overcast day,
Like inconvenient.
a frequent refrain. Corin,
Mm-hmm.
any particular
Just sussing Ivan, I guess, hoping he doesn't come over to him and mess with him.
You're totally getting messed with, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
let their lord play with that.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
just hoping, but also quite dark, and he can't really see much. So he's just still trying very hard to stay aware of any sounds. Like earlier when they were walking through the woods, they heard the werewolf howling and all that, right?
As far
Oh,
as you
yeah.
can tell so far, you hear the sounds of normal wildlife, like sort of normal wildlife, like leaves rustling, the occasional bird chirping, the wind blowing, and same for Zato as well. Yeah, that's about, and the occasional Ivan prank, like maybe like once every like hour or 2 hours, that kind of thing. Just he's just checking in,
It's checking in.
just checking in, because he's invisible.
Will we ever have the time to like forage or something?
Yeah, like I said, you
Okay.
like Lysel Cross, those of you who are not actively scouting for trouble, and you don't really need to scout for a path per se if you're staying on the road, because you're on a road.
Yeah.
You're on a road, Arcus does say that it's a good idea. Like I think we should go to the village and try and secure some proper food, perhaps. Much as these have been helpful, in lieu of nothing else. He also advises you all to just be on your toes, be careful. Although he thinks that you guys seem cautious enough already. And he does share an important point that he believes this place you're all in to be part of what is known as the Shadowfell. You can roll to see Arcana to see if you know what the Shadowfell is.
Is this a straight roll for me?
Yeah, just a straight roll, Zato.
I
Because
don't
this
know
is
this
something
because I
esoteric.
didn't go play.
Ah,
I didn't go
that
Horizon
is not-
Walker.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're all flat.
Ah.
Yeah,
I
so
Magnolia.
wait, since the three of you all kind of give him like a blur look.
I might know if I was Horizon Walker, but I chose Doomstalker, so I have no clue what that is.
So he tells you that it's basically like a different plane from the normal world where you all come from, and it's known to be a place of twisted, distorted reflections of what is seen on the material plane. And there are many, creatures that thrive in the gloom, and you know, and the undead that generally are native to this place.
When you say gloom, Joanna sneezes.
You feel at home.
And how do you know this?
How does he know this is more the question.
Well, I have some assistants, and he taps the book that he keeps, in his like special holder, the one that you see him use to cast magic with. Sometimes, or like he writes in his notebook a lot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You want you want an insight check him? Sure.
Oh, that's very sus. Inside.
He seems to mean exactly what he says. He's not like bullshitting.
Okay, oh man.
It's at least the way he sees it. It's, so you guys proceed on the road. About after like kind of like a few hours of trudge, almost monotonous. Zato, you do notice off to, the side of the road, there appear to be two corpses with birds flocking around, pecking at the remains.
I hold up one and points toward the corpses.
Is it time to investigate cops?
Is it near the river or on the road?
You guys are currently, the river is really far away from you guys.
Ah,
Probably
okay.
probably you
Okay.
can see the river because it's a big long river, but it's definitely at least like a couple dozen miles away. Maybe like quite a few miles away. If you take a look at when you kind of get closer look at the corpses, they're actually two dead wolves with some bits of wood and shafts sticking out of their bodies.
Wood and shafts.
Like it's obvious. Like like one looks like the handle of a spear. Some of them look like the backside of a few crossbow bolts.
Ah. Okay. Nope. Nothing sus here. I mean, we are near village.
We are in the area where there are wolves. Anyway, we've seen the wolves before. We've seen wolves before.
And we are on the road.
So do we just ignore and walk on?
I mean, we acknowledge it, but I don't think it's anything sus.
Is
This will probably come back to bite us in the butt, but
I'm not sure.
It's fine.
this will probably come to bite us.
It's like it
in the
seems
butt, but-
fine. It's just
The
a bunch of
villagers?
dead wolves.
The villagers do this usually. Torrent's a city boy; he doesn't know much. So
Ivan, don't agree with me. You're gonna make me less hate you, and I don't want that.
Aww, are we becoming friends already? Kind of like musses your
God.
hair.
I walk away.
Flap, flap. Giggling, like snickering. Yeah, you look around, Virna, they seem, at least at the glance already, they've been dead for a while. You guys carry onwards?
Probably just carry onwards, yeah.
Okay. Are you guys
Yeah,
traveling
something
at a
fast.
normal travel speed or a fast travel speed?
Do you think we'll be able to get to the settlement by sundown if we travel normally?
Based on your survival roll, no. If you travel fast, you might make it by sundown, but even that might be pushing it. It's a gamble, basically.
And from what we can see previously, where are the pictures? It will that before we hit the settlement is mostly forest,
It's
correct?
actually more. It's not. You've actually left the heavy forest that blocks you from all sides. You do
Is it
see.
mostly bog?
It's. I wouldn't say bog. Think like a mix of grassland, and as it goes down towards the riverside, it's getting boggier. But that area is quite further away. Like you can see from a distance that the ground area is more moist. But also there's generally like these areas of like fog that just roll over the land. Some areas thinner, some areas thicker. Nothing as thick as like what practically blanketed the house yesterday. But still kind of enough to slightly obscure some vision here and there.
I think at that point in time, she will do a quick assessment after when we get to the wolves and say, we might not be able to get to the village or whatever it is over there before sundown. But I mean, for her it's fine, but for you normies,
For us, normies.
well, I mean, she can just carry on. But in the dark, sometimes there are more monsters. More monsters when you can't see things becomes a lot scarier.
Yep, and you remember Corin's kind of like trials. That's one point yesterday.
Do you mean fear of the dark?
Trials.
Hey, I am not afraid of it anymore as much.
You sort of somewhat for now overcame it, yes. Yep, so normal or fast? You guys can vote.
I'd say normal.
Okay. Because remember, the disadvantage of traveling with a fast pace is that it tends to be a bit harder to notice the surroundings.
I would say normal as well.
Okay. Virna? I will abstain Arcus for this because he's backgrounding.
Nice. Are you?
Hello?
Oh gosh, she's
Oh
dead.
god, she's dead!
I thought I was dead. It's like, where's no
She
one
got
saying anything?
kidnapped to the Shadowfell.
Oh no!
What? That's left to the shadow fell?
Oh
You disappeared for a
no!
moment. You were answering for a moment, so we thought you got kidnapped to the Shadow Realm.
No, I was saying Virna herself would probably go faster because we have people here who can't see in the dark, and you guys, and it becomes a slight liability.
Alright, so you kind of.
But then again,
Yes.
outruled if overruled it fine.
Okay. Well, maybe traveling in a group, at least you can kind of watch each other's backs, sort of. And at least Arcus is. You are not the only one here who can see in the dark. So as you travel, Virna and Zato, you kind of notice after. Sorry, not Zato, Corin. Because you guys have the better body clock in the sense. You travel on for some hours more. You kind of like eat lunch while walking, sort of lunch. It's water and the tasteless everything. Because I don't know if any of you are foraging or not. I don't know.
Did no one forage?
I was only looking for mistletoe, but I suppose if there's anything useful,
You want
But then again, I only rolled 8, so
yeah. No, that
but
would.
since
But if you want to
since
forage in
Corin
general, you
was
can make a different roll if you want. Because that was just like you were calling for a specific thing.
can Corin forage also, or is he just stuck like being the perception guy?
You can help also. Then it just be Zatun. Ah,
hey.
Corin is helping, I guess.
Yes, Corin is helping.
Hey.
It's fairly sparse. You find it hard put to find edible stuff. You remember that generally stuff that grows above ground usually thrives better with sunlight, and if this weather you've been walking under so far is any like what's usually here, you can see why most of the plants don't look as green or as healthy.
Centipedes.
Yeah,
Are the centipedes?
centipedes.
Free
You can't
action,
even
free
find the
action
centipede.
centipede.
You can't even find the centipedes. It's sad.
What kind of barren place is this anyway?
I'm gonna
No
be right
centipedes.
back. I'm gonna
No
be right
what?
back, by the way.
Says the
No,
Underdark native.
no fungi, no centipedes. What kind of what place was this good for anyway?
It's a desert. It's terrible.
Right?
He died this. You're almost indignant.
Normal, you would think that the overworld would have things like, I don't know, stuff that can be readily eaten, but no, nothing.
I mean,
Useless.
at one point you do kind of see like ranging, over the sparse like sort of like grassy areas. What looks like possible, a small herd of deer, but then by the time you like there, and then they just kind of like they like startle and just like run off before you can even start to long stride there after them.
It's because it clanks, isn't it?
And then there's also like another point, like it looks like there's a pheasant flying overhead. Pew, miss. I'm like you know,
Hmm.
sad.
Curse you, melee hunter!
My survival being like that is not the Malay hunter's fault. It's just my rules.
Yeah. So as unfortunately you don't find much, and Corin and Verna, you notice strangely, it's like you had dawn-ish, morning-ish, and there wasn't even. It feels like there wasn't even like much of an afternoon before the light already feels like it's starting to set, almost like a couple hours earlier than you would expect. For what feels like. You see based on the trees, the current, like it's hard to pin what kind of season or this place is, but you probably, if it's a seasonal place, it's like it feels like the sound of like autumn like weather, a little bit cold. But yeah, and you see that there's still a decent way to go to the village. You could either take a break, or you could try and push on in the night, or in the sort of the growing twilight and nightfall.
I mean, we could.
Looks at the normies.
We could.
But it's always a but.
We should? Question mark?
Excellent question.
Well, that's what you have to decide. He says, Arcus will probably just chime in that, it does, staying out, the longer we stay out here does seem to be, more dangerous, but it could also be dangerous traveling at night. But, Vi and I can at least help to guide the way, to keep our eyes peeled, as it were.
I think if they do work that way, we will probably need to do those who can see in the dark will have to go both the front and the back.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Because you don't want to get picked up from the back slowly.
Is there a moon in this place, in this world?
Zato you didn't see last night, but Corin and Arcus did see. There was something like a crescent moon last night, but very thin. barely enough. No light. Basically, not even enough to cast any light on the ground. So it was all by lantern. Their gardening excursion.
How about tonight?
You can't tell this early yet, or rather, it's hard to tell through the thick clouds that currently, blanket the area.
Okay.
Yep.
Hawkeye.
Okay. So push on or camp?
Oh no, we don't have subs. How do we vote?
We vote by taking a water break.
Oh yeah, water break.
True.
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. Think about it while you drink water.
Be right back. Getting some water.
Yes. Oh, this app's BRB tummy trouble. Excuse me. I am going to pause the recording and I'm totally going to remember to unpause it.
Hello.
Hello. Moors!
Yawn.
That was the word I was looking for.
What?
No?
Not Moors. Moors. Like trying to think of how to describe the landscape.
I was wondering if it was that, but since you did mention it, I was like, okay.
Yeah. Cause I was just thinking like it's not exactly like full grassland like savanna, but it's more like scrubby bush. The kind where there's like these short scrubby bushes around, like kind of thing. It's like moors. That's what they are.
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights. yes, just Wuthering Heights or any Bronte sister, Jane Eyre, or Actually, technically, the Secret Garden also takes place in a place surrounded by the moors, but it's presented in a more wholesome light.
True. Because most of the time you're spending it. Most of the time, if it's not inside the pensionish place, it's in the garden itself.
Yes, and then once the spring comes, the moors transform, into the nature magic. Yes. Yeah, I was testing with pausing the recording. I was like, you know what? I don't want to risk it. Just let it run.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't need to pause it anyway because on YouTube you can just edit it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see how Raji and I feel. I have to manually upload this later because I record. I don't directly stream it to my Obzu. Okay, so vote. Zato, stay or push forward.
I say stay.
Okay. Corin.
And what I missed?
Camp or keep going into sort of the evening or night to try and reach the village.
Hmm. He would say camp because he would probably be quite useless at night without the dark vision. Even though he has a lantern,
Mm-hmm.
but that could still be very disadvantageous.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Vierna?
Vina actually wants to go fast.
So, yes, because you can see, you can eyes.
You can see, we can't see.
Yes.
This wasn't an issue in the house.
That is true. That is true. Wait, but how long? Sorry. How long more do they have to like reach the village?
Like I said, it's hard to estimate. You think if
Uh,
you push forward, you might reach it. By the time you reach it, it will be at the very least, or at least even the outskirts of it, it will be dark already. Or it might be dark before, because the sunlight streams, like the sun seems to be setting earlier than you'd expect, given what time it rose.
mm. Okay, actually, if that's the case, Corin will actually say like, let's just go as far as we can first.
Okay. Ivan's like, yeah, what's a little darkness, eh?
I mean,
Just stand at him.
we can always stop when it's closer to midnight.
Yeah.
Like Ivan back from one is he's just like riding on top of Galahad for a little bit. Galahad is enduring this with a surprising amount of patience.
Has Galahad been walking?
Yeah. Well, I suppose you can see that he's kind of like walking, but and you guys haven't been running, so he's been able to keep pace. Although you see that occasionally he walks a little bit like off balance, like a little bit like canine arthritis kind of.
Because I'm pretty sure that so much walking is not good for dogs.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially-
Arcus is probably helping to carry him once in a while, and protect doggo, you know. But Arcus's strength is also not super high, so I don't know about extended carrying. He seems quite tired by this point. It's like his tongue is
Considers long stridering. Considers long stridering.
the dog.
No, that is a good idea. Maybe considers long stridering dog.
Long striding the dog. I mean, do you have enough to long stride everyone?
I don't. I only have 3.
Yes.
But I have all the mats around me.
Mm-hmm.
I just need a pinch of dirt.
You
It's
just
all
need a
around
pinch
me.
of dirt, just like slap dirt on people.
Sure, I will long stride the dog. But to be fair, it will only last for an hour. But an hour is a lot to. It's a lot. To be fair, we are also not going to move very fast now that it's dark, thanks to since people can't really see. So it works out pretty okay.
So you touch it. You smear some dirt on the dog and you cast your spell. I mean, I don't know if you touched it with dirt, but you know, whatever the flavor is. And he kind of like blink and then he like runs like a circle around you guys. And then like it's like new. He's going extra with a little extra new for him. Seems a little more energetic at least.
Writes in notes, I long strider the dog.
Let's also
Writes in
add it
notes-
to my
writes
notes.
in notes,
Vi long strided the dog.
dog.
Vi long strided the dog.
Everyone is like, if you could do that from the start, why did you do it? Not everyone. I didn't have enough. It takes a lot of me to do that.
Let me bold this statement. Vi long strided the dog.
Yes. All right. So Zato.
Excellent use of a spell slot, okay?
Want to push forward. So it seems like majority.
Yeah, I have no power.
Yes. Alas, you can be grumpy about it. Yes. Ivan like kind of sits on your head and does the ratatouille thing invisibly, like that pull your head to be controlled. Like don't worry, no worries. They're like, if you can't see, I can steer you around. I can see perfectly fine. Steering, taking 2 handfuls of your hair and steering you like joystick like that.
Ratatouille?
Did you watch
Are
Ratatouille?
you ratatouille me?
What's that
The
about, right?
classical Disney theater Ratatouille?
He shapeshifts into a rat, and then
Oh, for fuck's sake.
For a moment, he attempts to ratatouille, but of course, unlike ratatouille, you're not actually, being steered. All right, so you guys push forward. I need you to make, because it is now nightfall, I need the scouts to make a second perception check.
It is now. I think we are
And
switching
now
scouts.
basically, yeah, and if you're switching scouts, yeah, so those who can do dark vision. Vienna, your dark vision, remember, it still counts as lightly obscured because of actually, both of you are going to do this at disadvantage because as the sun sets further, the mist seems to, the fog seems to get a little heavier.
Okay.
So I need to roll for Arcus at disadvantage. Oops.
Actually-
I just killed Arcus, my bad. I mean, I closed
Rex,
the
you
tab.
know what?
Bye,
Same thing. I regret choosing a human, but I am sticking to it.
But hey, you wanted your feet.
Yeah,
And I
it's-
wanted my feet.
and its flavor. Let's see. What did I put again? Perception.
Yeah, it's just the picture I use for Corin just fits him so well for me. So I don't want to
problem.
change.
You got no problem, you guys. You guys are
Dang.
keyed up. You're like a tag.
Oh wow,
team.
that's actually pretty good.
I know, right? That's a very good tag team. So you guys push forward. The sun, or what you can make out of it. You've at no point basically been able to make out the tangible shape of the sun. You just kind of get a sense of the light direction. A direction where there is light, but it's always like weirdly murky.
You can trust Vienna when she says there's light coming from there.
Yeah, because you're light sensitive, but you can kind of get the direction, and so you proceed essentially westward. It's based on the direction of the setting sun. You're kind of like walking in that direction, and it gets darker, and it gets darker, and you're still walking. Corin, Corin and Zato, you end up having to turn on your lights. Your various lights. Do you use torches or lanterns?
Probably a torch.
Okay, so you both like light up your torches. Those will last you at least an hour. You push forward. Zato and Vienna and Arcus. Both Arcus stops short, and Vienna, you also notice it at the same time. A distant. And then another answering in a different direction. Behind you guys. Somewhere in the distance. You're not entirely sure. It sounds, it's audible but not like super close to you yet.
I comment
The
things.
howls just feel a little too close for comfort with this level of lighting for the general populace. And I mean, you can see in the dark, but you're not like it's dark vision, so you just see like monochromatic, that sort of thing.
We see monochromatic, but
Arcus sees the
then
daylight.
Arcus see in color. Yeah.
Arcus sees in color, yeah. So Arcus is but you see further than Arcus, which is really funny. You have 150 feet now.
Do be like that. Do be like that.
I did a check and it's like 36 meters, just so you know.
I know, right? It's
Wow.
like, you how many seconds does it take to run 36 meters?
Holy shit.
100 meter dash divided by 3. 20 seconds. So what do you wish to do? You kind of hear wolf howls, and it seems a little more close than you're comfortable with.
I maintain my comment that exactly on as in the chat page and the chat con. If this is Don't Starve, we're in big dude.
No, the hounds are coming to attack tonight.
The hounds are coming and we have no torches ready.
I mean, I took
Yeah, torches.
5. I took 5 torches from the mansion.
You both have torches. You proceed further.
But hang on, if it's Moors, are there trees, or is it just flatlands?
There are lots of, it's flat, yet it's flat in the sense of like, because the moor. If you've ever seen pictures of the moors, it's literally just like an endless stretch of like. In some places, it's like an endless stretch of short bushes, if you can imagine that. And it's thick and things can just walk around in it, depending, on little paths. So it is dark. It has been dark. You count like your torches, Corin and Zato. Normally those last about an hour. Your estimate has been like they're about 3/4 gone. This batch. When Virna, you notice ahead, just that faint gleam of their torchlight reflecting off one pair of eyes low in the bush, and then another pair of eyes, and another pair of eyes. Not moving, just in the road ahead, just beside the road ahead of you.
I would like to summon dancing lights.
Right above them?
Sure.
Okay, you're
It's 120 feet.
Like you just immediately and like you a moment you immediately see the flare of the light like illuminate the figure of at least 3 wolves, lurking among the moor bushes, and they kind of snarl and like retreat into the bushes around you.
Oh no.
I would like everyone to roll initiative, but you have not been ambushed. You're ready for this.
I don't think I can select my.
Okay, wait.
My
Let me
token?
let me move you guys to the battle map. That's right. I have to do that first before I make you guys roll initiative. So I have modified this in the assumption you guys were going to be camping, but since you're not camping, I am going to make you guys light up. Torches is. Remind me of the distance for torches again, Zato or Corin.
Wait on. Yeah, torch burns for 1 hour. Yeah.
2020, right?
2020, yeah.
Yes, 2020. So that will light up you. Just bear in mind, if you are holding a torch, one of your hands is busy. Corin, technically, your shield arm is allowed to hold, the torch.
Actually, you know what? If they are fighting, he's not gonna use his torch.
Oh, you're gonna drop
He
it?
might just. Is it possible for me to just stab the torch into the ground? Because it's literally just like one big wood thing, isn't it?
You can certainly place it, like you kind of like quickly, you have a moment to, while Vienna's summoning her dancing lights, you quickly, slam the torch into the ground.
And since the hooded lantern is hanging on me, I'm just gonna turn that on. Corin's gonna turn that on as well, just in case.
You hurriedly try and
Yeah.
you
scrambled.
You hurriedly scramble to try and to do that. So
Yeah,
I gotta pace all these light sources, man. You
Because
guys are
Corin
light.
is there.
Yes.
You
like-
fool.
Corin's scared of doggos.
All you need to do is crimson your torch.
attack with torch
I don't
for
have
1 damage.
crimson light.
Attack with torch for 1 damage. Okay, so Corin, I have placed this torch around you.
Thank you.
Vienna, the dancing lights that you do. The string of them, is let's see. I just say like roughly like you kind of extend them as far as you can. Technically you've extended further, but I'd say like the that's whereabouts. And
Is this really 20 feet?
pardon? No, that you have the 20 feet between each one, but you can do the dancing lights have to stay kind of closely linked to each other. You know what I mean? But they
I
can,
mean, the torch on me.
The torch on you
That
is
is really big.
20 feet of bright and 20 feet of dim, right?
So it's
so
10
So
feet
it's
radius.
altogether it's 40 feet. That's fine. So the darker
okay.
area that you can still see, you actually have disadvantage on the perception for that one. Yep. So
Okay,
L.
it's big. Okay.
Uh,
When you have dark vision, you can see everything.
yes. so to speak. Okay, so you spot these guys. Okay. So I would like initiative roll for, let's say I need to do Arcus.
Go for Galahad.
I'm just
Go
gonna move.
for-
I'm just gonna roll for I have to roll separately for Ivan, but because technically he has his own initiative. I have never played familiar before, so that should be interesting.
Does he have his own initiative? Normally when I was
Under find familiar, normally apparently he has his own initiative.
Okay, so it's slightly different from the one that I used for Ritual Caster in that case. Because previously what I did was I just moved on the same turn.
The fighter only acts independently of you and always obeys your commands in combat and rolls those initiative. I suppose it's something that Nerdlord House ruled law, so to make me to cut down on the number of things. But moving on the same turn technically gives you a slight edge also because you can really coordinate with each other, which is why so it's a factor to consider. Imp, where's the bloody imp on this one? I have so many tokens to handle. Okay, so this is
Time to snooze till later.
I'm gonna kill Nerdlord man for making me had to do so much of this extra. Yeah. No, let's see. Yeah, because he's like, I have to play 2 PCs for him technically. Okay, so
That's why we eat the imp.
that's why you eat the imp. That's why you eat the imp.
You heard me.
Yes.
Did I stutter?
Did you freaking stutter?
Arvin is just a scared boy.
Hurry, you're always a scared boy.
I'm always a scared note. It's just so ngam these few things are going on at the same time. Darkness isn't a problem anymore. It's the wolves and the dog.
Darkness and shadows.
It's the doggos because he fought the wolves before he came here.
All right. Let's see. No wait, did I get this? Did I get this correctly? Okay. All right. Oops, wrong one. Okay. Organize initiative roll. A to Z. Okay. Oh, sorry, wrong way around. Descending. There you go, Zato. You fast, boy. Okay. So, changing battle music. Oh ho ho ho. Top of the round, Zato, as you are, you swing a torch around, you notice, in the bright light of your torch, there is another pair of wolves behind you. I will illuminate them here.
Sneaky wolves. Oh no!
Yes, they are behind you as well. And then, so you can see 5 wolves. What do you do?
First, you cut yourself.
First, you cut yourself.
First you cut yourself.
Now, Cloud. Do I see something glowing?
In what way?
Well, we talk about this.
Wait, something glowing? Oh, yes. There is something that has been perhaps glowing since you woke up that morning, but it didn't seem like a good time at the time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gonna take my vial that I saw was glowing from my pocket. Pop it open, drink it, and say, "Oh shit! It's finally time."
right.
Then I'm gonna transform.
As the blood, pours down your throat, you feel it immediately. Like it runs like fire, like lightning crackling through your body, like feeling the crimson right go through your entire body instead of just your arm. And like the other three of you just like for a moment see Zato like his hands extend into claws and his skin ripples into like this like alien texture of fur and scales that's like half wolf, half demon. Through his
now
cold
it's like,
body.
Motherfucker!
He's
this
going
a
devil
cult
trigger,
werewolf?
baby! But also, I need you to roll a wisdom save for
Is this a cult thing too?
Is this a cult thing too?
Zato, are you a cultist as well?
He's going full Devil May Cry, baby!
I was a werewolf, but you were just too early.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, motherfucker.
The bloodless feature is only when I start with half my health.
Yep, that is only feature. But this is also the first time you're doing this, I mentioned.
Ah,
This is
shit.
the first time you're doing this. And normally, this would be done under supervision for reasons of safety.
Is this?
So just make a wisdom save for me.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Do you have inspiration? Do you want to reroll that?
How many
You know,
inspiration we have?
I can
not
give
have
you my
you already
inspiration.
burned out Galahad's table inspiration actually.
Oh, I have inspiration.
You have
okay.
inspiration, okay.
Actually, I forgot I have one too. I need to put that on my
My
token.
question is, do I want to do?
Do
You want
Do you
to?
want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Do you want to? Or are you gonna go full devil trigger on this? Full berserk devil trigger on this? Apparently not. Apparently the dice is just like fuck this. You're going wild, baby. So, Zato, just apply the normal bloodlust rule. But basically, you are going to attack.
Wait, oh shit, I'm dumb. It is DC 8.
Oh right, it's only a DC. Wow, it's so low DC. Okay,
Wow,
that's
I
fair.
thought it was 10.
Alright, you managed to control the. It's a close call. Yeah, I thought it was 10 too. I don't know why I saw 8 the earlier one. Well, I guess they don't want to make it too hard. So you managed to. For a moment, you almost lose yourself, but then you snap back and like mentally, you're Zato, but you look at your form and you're like, this is sick. Like, also, this is also a form you've never seen anyone else take. Like, you've seen other people do the transformation, but this is like, whole new level. It's awesome. Also, for your D&DB sheet, remember, if you activate this mode, you can actually go to the settings and they have some instructions. So you turn on the mode, and all of your stats will be changed accordingly.
Oh god, everything's so new. Oh no.
I know, right? But it's so cool. It's this new terrain to me. It's like you get so many buffs on this while you're doing this.
Alright, for my turn, I'm gonna move towards here.
Yep, so you've used your bonus action already for the transformation.
I'm still holding the torch, so
Yep.
I can see.
It's like a stick in your hands.
And then I'm gonna attack him once
Alright, so.
with my claw. Oh fuck!
You miss. The wolf is strangely unintimidated by you and just like dodges out of the way of your claw and like stares at you very intently.
That's my turn.
Ivan's like, oh, this guy's some kind of what, demon feed too? And it's like, you should have told me, Zato. He's going to.
We actually don't know if I can talk in this form or not.
Can you?
I'll say you. I'll say you can talk. I'll say you can talk, but it sounds like exactly like what you think you would sound like. There's no
Yeah,
reason why you
howl.
can't talk. Yeah, there's no reason why you can't talk. Yeah,
Let out a howl.
it's a very feral, but half howl, half roar, demon roar kind of thing.
I'm not gonna do it because
Are
I don't
you
want people to
sure?
know what
Are
you
you
rounds.
sure you're not? Are you sure you're not part of the ambush? Who is the real ambusher here?
So
It
Ivan,
was Nato all along.
Ivan is going to go invisible because he can do that as an action, apparently. So he's a ninja and holding concentration, and he is going to go and fly 10, 20, 30. Oh, actually, no, he's 30, 40 to like count like the closest move. But that's only his action. He can't do anything else. Corin.
You fool! This was my call.
No.
This was the call all along.
Doggo.
Oh, I forgot to roll for that. I'll just move him to Arcus's turn for my sanity's sake.
Minions now.
Corin, what would you like to do? You just saw Zato. He turned into this thing that almost looks a lot like, you know, like it looks a half a wolf and, you know, a half something else entirely, you know, like half,
Coffery cough.
like a really
Kidding.
brute version of Ivan, but
Okay.
and no wings.
Okay. Huh.
Rex, if you got picture, go ahead order.
Yeah, man. If you have a picture, just send it so
just
I know.
put the DLC picture like something like that, but extra wolf, something like that, but extra wolf.
Okay, like at least seeing Zato transform, he wouldn't be scared because he's scared of dogs. He was afraid of the wolves.
Dogs
For a reason.
Wolves are dogs.
Wolves are dogs.
You're surrounded by so many dogs, Corey.
I know. I am a bit scared, but determination. I'm trying to see where I can go. It's pretty good. There's also thing. Mouth is going crazy.
I wonder if my crimson right damage got half.
You know what? Just gonna go and help Zato. So like, yeah. 25.
Human team.
Human
team.
Human
Well,
team.
half human now.
Half human. Why am I the only McNormie? God damn it.
I don't know, man. Why are you so normie? I mean, you're as normie as can be, considering that you're from another plane that you know.
I mean, I'm a variant human, but how variant? I have no idea.
You just got extra talents.
No, I got isekai. That's all. Jesus, that's sad.
That
Holy
misses.
crap,
I'm sorry.
that's
That misses.
Bonus action pull-out master.
Yep. So you try and pull a master that guy.
Really?
You hit for 4 damage.
I can butt smack them, but I can't stab them.
Yep. You did. That seems to be the quite typical actually.
Right. What's wrong with me?
These, let's see. They charge in. They slink. Noticing that they're already seen, they just one slinks in for purpose. 2 slink. 10, 20, 30, 40. This one actually dashes to go and circle around Arcus. This one is going to go 1, 10, 20, 30, 40. For a moment, fear not, it almost seems to be lunging right at you, but at the last moment, it breaks off and darts to the side to the Arcus with a dash. So this one, that is with a dash. So this one gets pack tactics essentially, as he tries to bite Arcus. 15 to hit. I'm gonna say that he probably had the time to cast Mage Armor since you guys had like a moment's notice to. Does he have Mage Armor? He doesn't have Mage Armor.
I don't think he has. Can you guys
doesn't have
defend him
Mage.
right now?
He doesn't have Mage Armor. I'm sorry. He's got no Mage Armor. So that hits for 9 damage. I guess he will probably Hellish Rebuke in response. The damage by a creature within 60 feet of you can see. So dex save control for the wolf. That's 14 against his spell DC is it makes it so it takes half damage of. Wow. Okay, so he just incinerates that wolf with like.
Real.
But basically, yeah. So you get chomped, and then he just like like in response, like fire burns out of his head and just like completely incinerates the wolf. It's like let's see. Vierna, it's your turn.
I forgot that I am almost entirely invisible to these things.
That's right. Don't you have like an extra? Yeah. This is where all your first round advantages are gonna come slapping in, man.
Before anyone asks me what it is, I will let me just ping you what it is.
all them first round advantages.
No, this has nothing to do with the first round advantage.
Advantages that you can get. So yeah. This is like is that an evading creature? Well,
While
technically,
in darkness.
but while in darkness, you're in the light actually, and also these things don't have dark vision actually. They just have keen smell and hearing.
Okay.
Yes.
So not even there, they can, if they can see you, they have.
Yeah. So
They have,
can't see
entertain-
you if they're relying on dark vision.
Yeah, if they are going to go for a sight, then sorry.
So if you stand in
I-
darkness, Ivan can't. No, actually, Ivan can see because he's like got that demon sight thing.
Yeah, Ivan can see him because of his demon sight.
Yeah.
So first of all, I am going to invoke Dread Ambusher. Once again, pinging stuff. I'm gonna attack this one with my spear.
Alright.
I will use two-handed. Let's go.
Alright. So does your initiative go? Wow. Okay. So that slaps.
So that's 11, and then extra 1d8,
Okay.
which is really sad, but life
That's right.
is like that.
That skewers the wolf right through.
So yeah,
yep.
it is 12. Oh right, I forgot about the initiative roll equal to your wisdom
I
modifier.
think they added it already because your
They should probably.
Yeah, they have
should
because it's
tell me.
your dex and in your wisdom of 2 and 1, so it's 3 on your sheet.
Yeah, they did already. Okay, good. So yeah, so total will be 12 damage. Yeah, and
I don't know why, but like on Chrome, I just realized that it's not showing the battle map, although it's a black box. So I think I just need to refresh it, roll 20. It's just a black box, so I'll just refresh it.
okay.
That's a bug, yeah. So any bonus action?
Bonus action, because there's so many blind people here. I can move things up to how many feet again? 60 feet. I think I can definitely move everything over there. Okay, throw it all over there. Throw my dancing lights all over there.
I just like throw.
Boom.
Wait, how many feet can you move at a time, by the way?
It says 60 feet. You can move the lights up to 60 feet to a new spot within range.
Yeah, that's gonna be more than enough. Just fling.
Yeah, so I might just throw it over there.
Just fling. You're not even like thinking of aiming.
Just fling, just
particularly,
throw.
just flinging it in that direction.
Just throw.
Yep. All right.
It's so bright.
It's so bright.
Turn.
So. These...
I am going. Before I enter, I'm gonna move. To let's move up to here.
Okay.
Okay, enter.
All right. So these two are circling around. To let's see, Corin, pack tactics. So they're both reaching snarling at you. AC is to be
18.
18. Please adjust your roll 20 notes on that, but one hits at least 23.
Okay.
Can I use eyeless on one of them?
Sure. Try and see what the crystal. Well, I don't know. He's 17. He rolled 23.
Yes,
So
that's
to use eyeless is 1d4.
Yeah.
It would probably not be enough to reduce it to save him.
Okay.
So it's like pretty big hit in that sense.
Oof.
So you take 7 damage, and you need to make a
Mhm.
strength saving throw. Actually,
Strength saving.
I needed to do that for Arcus also.
Oops.
You are not prone.
Okay.
Yes. I need to do that for Arcus also. Oops. Well, I don't know, sir, but you know, Arcus is technically prone also, although he did Hellish Rebuke back in time. So, sideways. Oops, too much. Okay. So currently you are prone. But thankfully the other one essentially missed you, regardless.
Mhm.
Arcus is going to quickly get up from prone. Kind of like yells at Ivan, protect Galahad! And as Galahad kind of like is scampering off into the darkness.
Oh no.
Because he has long strider, he too can move extremely fast.
He's moving really fast. 10, 20, 30, 40. The Mastiff already can move how many feet normally? I think it's actually 14. No. Yeah, normally 40, so it's like 50 feet into the darkness.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. And Arcus is going to... Well, he's in close with this wolf, so he will be Eldritch Blasting at disadvantage. Gosh. I guess he will... Bonus action Misty Step.
Ooh.
Yep. So he will appear just like basically like here. Probably like I guess like as far back as like 60 feet. Because he
30
had
feet.
30 feet, so wait, where is it? 1, 2, 10, 20, 30. Okay, it's about here. Eldritch Blast!
Oh gosh. Okay.
It miss. It miss. Phew, so that's his turn.
And the temples made it fine.
Yes. Now, nobody's passive perception was higher than 15,
No.
so nobody notices as 3 more wolves emerge from the south
Mm.
and the underbrush. I mean, you see them coming basically, so they don't get like an advantage on attacks. And they are going to go for, let's see, they all 1, 2, 3. So this one is going to go for 10, 20, 30.
They can all attempt, but none of them can go for Galahad.
Long strider.
They can if they dash, but that's like trying to go for the super difficult ones.
This one is probably enough to make it here. This one was enough to make it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, this one is attacking the prone corn.
Mhm.
It's biting at you.
Advantage, I think.
Yes, with advantage. 20 to hit. You can try Curse of
Okay.
Eyeless if you want, but
I'ma do it. What the fuck is this thing?
basically...
Eyeless.
Yes. Please ping so I can remember how it works as well. All these new features, man! All these new... You can use your reaction to roll 1 human craft cry and subtract the number rolled from the creature's attack. Yes. Yes. So you can reduce it by 1d4.
It's gonna roll the crimson, right?
Okay. Unfortunately, that is not enough. It brings it to exactly 17, and his AC is 17. No, he's 18.
Like,
18.
he's 18.
Please update your roll 20.
I did.
Oh wait, what?
Oh,
with S.
wait.
Oh, I see. With shield. Okay, 18. All right. So it
Yeah,
misses.
I wrote.
All right. It misses. All right. So
Yay.
these two are attacking you, Zato, with pack tactics of advantage. So the first one, AC is
16.
all right. First one misses. 13. Second one, 20 to hit.
Hit.
You take 9 halved to 4 because your hide is very tough, like many of your kind. Although you don't have the full werewolf immunity to bludgeoning and slashing. But you do need to make the strength saving throw.
Strength. Do I get advantage on strength saving throw? Yes, I do.
You do, yes, because you're a freaking beast.
Doesn't help.
Doesn't help. DC 11. I'm sorry, you are knocked prone.
All these people lying on the floor.
All these people lying on the floor. The two humans just got knocked down onto the floor.
The human team is weak.
Yes.
All these
got
But
a
thankfully,
beast.
it's your turn right after this. So is that
all these people lying on the floor. You know?
all these people lying on the floor?
I'm gonna take this down, because why not? I'm gonna attack twice. So this is the first attack. And this is the second attack.
Okay. So second
suck.
misses. The first hits. You can roll.
Wow, that's a lot.
Which one are you attacking?
This one.
Alright, that does 8 damage. And the wolf snarls back viciously, but it's still up. You claw it right across the nose, and that smarts.
Yep.
Yep. It is alright, it's still up. Ivan is going to attempt and pick up and fly Callahan. grapples the dog. Does he have enough
But
strength to carry dog? Strength 6, so his carrying capacity is I guess maybe slowly.
But it all depends on whether he can grapple the dog, considering the dog is now super fast.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he catch up because he has also 40 feet of flight. So, all right, and it's his turn. So he will. I don't know. He grapples the dog. It's like, you really sure about this? So they carts Doggo a little bit further away to safety. Corin. You are prone.
After movement to get it up. I can only smack, so I'll just smack.
Yeah.
This is it. If we had a fireball, this would be so convenient.
I don't know, I'll just smack this one.
Reject humanity. Go full monk.
Wow.
Okay,
Nice.
not bad.
All right, 6. It's still up, but
Hola,
it's
master.
like very, very like on its last leg.
That,
That misses.
do I?
Do you?
Thinking action surge.
You can.
You know what? Why not? Action surge as a. Yeah, action surge. So it means I can do my normal attacks again, right?
Yep, you could basically do an entire action again. Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
not your
I
bonus
will,
action. Not your bonus
Yeah.
action. Yeah.
So I'll just whack this one since it's weak.
Okay.
Does it hit?
Just short. 13.
God damn it.
Miss.
Oh well.
Yes.
It's okay, I stay there.
Okay. So, fair enough. The one that's like whirling, like like around you is pivoting around, and then just snarling at you and using the dodge action. You catch sight in the bushes to the south that there is like yeah, they were looking in the direction because like that's where more wolves came from, and you see in the thickness of the bushes just one more wolf, not really making an attempt to hide, just sitting in the bushes watching all of you.
As in, from around here-ish?
Yes. I will reveal.
So far away.
Yes. And he's just sitting there like watching. Fiona, it is your turn.
It is my turn, and I will. It is very weird that there is something waiting. There's something waiting there that she can tell. So she will whistle. Hopefully Arcus will see, and then she points directly towards the wolf there. And can I cast this? Let me check. Let me just check something. I sure can. I would like to cast. I would like to use, because it's something that I can use anyway as part of draw magic. Fairy Fire on this thing in case that anything. So Fairy Fire has a range of 60 feet. It's a cast range of 60 feet and lasts at 20 feet cube. Let me draw my cube. 20 feet is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's this, right? Fuck the color. No, wrong color. Wrong color, Kronk.
Can you ping me Fairy Fire?
Give me a sec. Ping.
Each fruit in the outline is any creature or green is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For duration, objects and creatures hit you like in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. Any attack roll has
Actually, let me think about something else. Dim light normally gives disadvantage to people fighting melee, right? For those who cannot see in the dark.
Not in a fight itself, but it's more like to look for things that are maybe hidden.
But
it doesn't give a straight up disadvantage.
Towards fighting, it doesn't, is it?
Yeah. Not dim light doesn't straight up give a disadvantage on fighting, because you can still see the shape of something in front of you, so you whack it. That kind of thing. But yeah, if it's full darkness, then essentially you have to shoot blind.
Well, to be fair, if she wants Arcus to take care of it, he doesn't need Fairy Fire. That guy can take care of things by himself. He can see everything under the sun. So, on second thoughts, I will not Fairy Fire. I'll see if there's any.
It wasn't so much the darkness that was hiding him as the thick bushes, so it's that sense that, yeah.
So that's why she will whistle and she'll point him out. I would try to hit this one, I guess, even with disadvantage.
Okay. Why disadvantage?
Didn't you say it was taking dodge action?
Alright, dodge, yes, sorry, my bad. Make your attack roll.
It's not gonna hit anyway.
Yep, it misses. He's just like dodging out of the way. Yep. Bonus action.
No, I do not think I have a bonus. I will just circle around here and I will stay here.
Okay. These group of wolves are, let's see, they both attack, actually, you know what? The bigger threat here is, who is the bigger threat here?
At the moment, Verena brought down one, Arcus brought down one.
They are both going after Corin.
Is Corin truly the biggest threat here?
Am
No, I was thinking
I?
more like, no, actually, wolves would not go after the biggest threat. They would pick up the
Yeah.
smaller first.
Yeah, it's
But the
me.
shortest one is Zato. But now he looks weird, so he might not be the shortest one anymore.
Yes.
So yeah,
So,
that makes 100% sense.
19 and 21.
Both hit.
Ouch.
Okay, so I need you to make 2 strength saving throws.
Okay. 14.
First succeeds. DC 11.
Okay.
You stay upright, but you take 16 damage.
16. Oh,
Are you dead?
ow. No, I'm not. I'm still up, but 1 digit health.
I'm sorry, I do not have cure wounds.
Sad. But okay.
Or good berry.
Sad.
Wait, you have a potion, man.
Arcus
Do I?
is like,
I do.
boy, duck! And he will pew and like, well, actually,
Eldritch Blade.
actually, no, I think, you know what, he's
Eldritch
he's kind of a dumbass, isn't he? He's a kind of a dumbass. It turns out running recklessly into danger, so what he's going to do is, I wonder if I can... 1, 2...
Even after even after Rena told him about.
Thinks about like optimal. Well, you know, he looks at this lone wolf there, but he looks at the fact that those two are surrounded by 5 wolves. Judgment call. Let's see what Nerd Lots knows to say. Never betray the party. Protect at all cost. Okay. Supposedly. So he will aim to protect, and so he's going to, 10, 20, 30. He can't make the extra distance, so it wouldn't make sense.
He can Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, but if he could reach for burning hands, that would actually be more. But he cannot reach for burning hands. Well, actually, he'll run and gun in that case. 10, 20, 30, and he will Eldritch Blast at least one of the ones that might be easy to blast.
Oh, you're in danger.
19 hits. Yeah, that's fine. It's gone. that one is at least it gone. All right. What is his what bonus actions does he have? I do not know. Nope, it's just Misty Step and Eldritch Blast on action.
He also I suppose he gets the HP back.
Oh yeah, that's true. He gets 10 HP he gets 4 10 HP for the temp
And
HP
he's like,
though, not
and he's happy because he got hit earlier. Haha.
But it's not. Remember, 10 HP doesn't actually fill your HP bar, so.
Yeah, but it still helps, so you don't die.
It's 4 temp HP. I don't know if he gets more temp HP now at level 3, but you know what? You can remind me of that later. So these guys are all Zato. They all slide around you and basically all start wailing on Corin. And just as it seems like they are all going to dive in for Corin's, just pile him in a literal, dog pile, question mark. They all stop, freeze, and simultaneously all disengage. Like all of them once. And they all start darting off into the various bushes.
I attack one of them while they're running.
You can try and make an attack of opportunity.
The one that I attacked before.
Sorry?
The one that I attacked before.
Okay. They are basically disengaging, but I'll let you try to get in a strike. You're trying at disadvantage basically.
Oh, disadvantage.
Yeah, because they are essentially disadvantaged. Technically you can't even get in a reaction, but because it's cool, I'm letting you get a reaction.
I believe. Oh.
Wait. No,
It's 11.
It's 11, so you miss. But it's like you grab like a slice of fur, and they all off into the darkness. the surrounding moors. The wolf that has been watching you just tilts its head slightly and turns around and runs off to the south. You are out of combat.
No one died. Well, someone almost died. You almost had to add one more count of.
I know, right? I was like, where's my KO counter?
Arcus is
Not today, Asmodeus.
Arcus is like, still like hands out ready to Eldritch Blast. Actually, you know what? He will probably try and Eldritch Blast a fleeing one because he does have the dark vision for it. I mean, he has the stupid dark vision for it. And Ivan would chase one, but he's carrying a dog.
A dog which is supposed to be able to move really fast.
He's missed.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. And suddenly the night is all quiet again, apart from you all, breathing. Zato will be right back. Let's see. So,
Which way did they all run off to the south?
they basically just ran away from you, directly away from you. So the
All
ones that
away.
came from the side came from the left, just bolted opposite direction. But they're all, rather than running down the road, they are just running into the north and south bush, like the moorlands, in different directions.
On the other hand, Vienna will wonder aloud if the wolf that they found earlier were part of this pack. Which also means that I should have done a check on how fresh the corpses were.
I mean, at a glance, you knew that they've been dead for a while. You just don't know, like, how long.
Okay, in that case, it's not like someone has just passed through that trail then.
Nados just got Jujo. Okay. We didn't kill him either. Arcus is running up the corner like, boy, are you alright? It's like, oh, you look pretty roughed up by those wolves. Ivan's like, Arcus, can I let go of the dog yet? No, wait, sorry. Arcus, can I let go of the dog yet? Still having long stride there with paws moving extra fast. Arcus like, yes, you can. I think you think it's okay. Maybe just scout the area. Roger that. And he puts Galahad on the floor and flatters, and Galahad's still like a little perturbed at flying. Huddles up closer to Virna while Ivan goes invisible and goes to scout the area. Corin, you survived, although this is like uncomfortably reminiscent. But this time it seems you held up.
I'll just say
So did your friends.
In flavor, he kind of just. I would say that he did keep the pan flute in his bag somehow, and he just kind of generally reached for that spot and like grip onto it a bit, remembering bad memories.
All right. Arcus is like helping you to like just like those bites look quite rough, and like kind of like help you to bandage you up with some rags from the house.
I don't want to waste the healing pot yet.
I mean, you don't
do
need
have
to
second
because
wind.
I do, yeah. That's what I was looking at.
You're a McFighter. Also giving up one in my pillow somewhere else.
Yeah, I was planning to second wind just in case because we're still traveling. So
I mean, or on the other hand, since there's nothing that says that there won't be any more wolves up ahead or anywhere where they're going, they might want to wait for
Alright, so-
daybreak.
So, you're it's as you know, the night now seems quiet again, and you're just like keeping an eye out. And Ivan eventually comes back after no, he doesn't actually even come back. Like Arcus kind of like tilts his head like he's listening to something, and then it seems like it's all clear for now. They've fled into the. It seems like it's all clear for now. They've fled into the surrounding moorlands. Maybe we should try and hurry on before they decide to change their mind.
Yeah, you know what, Corin will agree, because, like, best to just reach the village.
Alright, so you guys, you know, Virna, are you stopping to take a moment to do anything?
Vienna doesn't need to take this. Doesn't need a moment for anything, but whoever who needs it can probably take it.
Alright, so Zato, are you still a? Oh wait, Zato is AFK.
Yeah.
Zato still a weird link.
Is Zato still
I think we're all looking at
Yeah,
Zato
you're
now.
all looking at Zato. Virna, you did roll for a semi-decent knowledge of werewolves recently, right? Like basic.
Yes, I did.
So it's apparent he's not. If he is a werewolf, it's a bizarre version of it. It's like half werewolf, half reptile. You know, toothy in a weird way. You know.
Plus, if I might point out something, upon their first meeting,
You did stab him.
Vienna cut everyone. So
Vienna
except
cut
for
everyone.
Arcus. Except for Arcus.
Except for
So
Arcus.
he did not react
He
to
did
Silver,
not
and thus he's not a werewolf. Aha!
Yes.
You see, it was useful.
Yes, so he's not a
Deduction.
werewolf, or at least you.
He's not a lycanthrope werewolf. There we go.
Yeah, he's not in the same usual way. Perhaps he might be some form of a lichen, but whatever it is, it's definitely very. Wow, what the shit? Because technically, he now has vulnerability to silver weapons.
Mhm.
I mean, not say vulnerability, but as in like silver can do normal damage to him in this form. The immunity, however, does not apply. I mean, not say the resistance does not apply when he's not normal human. Only when he's in this form. Yes. Yes. So, yes. They're waiting for it. So, let's see. Galahad. Rex, are you back yet? No. Well, can give him like a minute. I hope my. No, apparently it tuned out. This is really strange. I hope that.
What's that?
I don't know why, but the Roll20 recording is. Because I'm doing it on Chrome separately, so it doesn't get mixed up with my Firefox. But it seems like it turned into a black screen after a while. I mean,
Okay.
the map turned black, not the browser window. The map turned black,
That's
which
weird.
is really weird. I mean, the voices and all that is still recording, so that's fine, you know. But you know, there's probably like less view of the. I think I did get a bit of the battle map on the recording, so that's okay. We'll get back to conversations about Zato later, but presumably you guys are hurrying from the area. Presumably. So you guys limp. Well, Corin is limp. It gets to limp.
I began limping again.
But with your second wind, you push on. You know. At
Oh,
one-
I haven't rolled it yet. I just realized I didn't click it.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, roll your second wind.
Okay.
Ooh, that's really nice.
That's not bad.
That's good. That's a chunk right there.
Yeah. I'm back to double digits, that guys.
Yeah, you steal yourself. You steal yourself.
Why is somehow Corin doing more tanking than the one who's and those of us who are designated to be tank? Sad.
Oh well.
Yeah, so you hurry onwards. You have to like essentially like your first torch burns out and you have to light a new one, so you -1 off. your inventory. But finally, you get to like the moorlands kind of fades out into actual like farmland. It looks like farmland. It's fenced up, and there's dirt, like dirt and all. But it looks like a lot of it looks like overgrown with weeds. At least when you first the first areas of farmland you are running over, and you see like silhouette, like Vienna at least and Arcus can see occasionally like silhouettes of like farmhouse buildings or shacks, very not very rickety and poor made, bare bones, simple stuff, but you're hurrying, and eventually you kind of finally reach what looks like more cultivated, like actual like a farm. You reach finally a farm where you see, oh, the soil has actually been tilled in some recent time.
Actual civilization.
Yeah, something of the sort.
Barovia?
Oh, welcome back.
Battle. Yeah.
You. Let's see. Am I thinking about the right? This one? Yeah. Here we go. You're kind of like approaching like these little wooden or stone fences marking people's little plant farming plots, and you see like the shapes of actual like cabbages planted, in occasional rows, and carrots, potato plants. And ahead you do see outlined with actual firelights in some windows and houses and all that, the shape of a village. The picture is showing daytime, but it's night now, so just imagine the night version of this. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna change my.
Yeah. Have you just been sticking like that form the whole time while like running? Because you got like 1 hour on that thing, right? I think. Yeah. You have up to 1 hour. You can there we go. You can speak, use equipment, and wear armor in this form. You can revert to your normal form earlier as a bonus action. So just as a note, he didn't just go naked, which is what the lycanthrope. I think a lot of lycanthropes like they absorb the armor, if I remember correctly. But he actually is like clad in his armor.
Wow, thank you, Netherlord. Oh my god.
He's not naked.
What is shit?
Is
getting
he roasting you from afar?
Yeah.
I mentioned long stretch of the dog, and Corin hit single digit HP. This is priorities, and he was like, Galahad always at single digit HP, Corin doesn't. Priorities.
Oh my heart.
Where at?
Oh my heart.
Yeah.
I think Karin needs to go one level in Barbarian.
Yeah, I think I need to. Then I can go into rage every time.
I'm trying to look at what the original lycanthropes do for the damages, but I think they don't absorb the. I think they don't absorb their clothes. They don't absorb their clothes. They just kind of, But yeah, he is. I'm making a call. You do notice that Zato can actually talk like this, quite reasonably. You don't know if werewolves normally can talk, but that's at least reassuring that there's somebody inside there. So Rex, because you were AFK for a bit, so I said, we can, we will go back if you need to make any
Rewind.
small talk to before you guys left the site, since you are at the moment huge. Without being actual large, you are, rather ominous.
I look at Corin and say, sorry, Corin. I know you don't like jokes.
Oh no.
Yeah, not really, but you turned into a weird one, huh?
Yeah, I'm not like the others.
Itchy.
I would like to ask once again, does Vienna know whether werewolves normally speak?
Yes. They can't. Sorry, I just remembered. Yeah, they can talk. generally, but they usually don't wear. Well, I guess
Okay.
no. Actually, no. To be fair, I think they can wear clothes. But if he is a werewolf of some sort, he's at least one that seems in control of himself, rather than a
Okay.
berserk one. Yeah.
But I'll say Corin is not as scared because again he did see Zato transform immediately. So he knows like this is something but it's not like what he's actually like what he's scared of. He's like, okay, I see this happen, I'm okay, it's just Zato.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Normally, lycanthropes their armor does not transform to fit them apparently.
So it breaks.
I don't know. I guess then I feel like Erwin should have
It
become
is
naked. Erwin should have gotten naked when he transformed.
Erwin, that feels very, very. You shouldn't flash evil. That's no good.
Apparently, there's no hard.
animals.
Yeah, there's apparently no hard and fast rule for it. So I'm just going to rule that as long as your transformation is not into something like overly huge, and you don't turn into a bear. Your armor, Azato, your armor got a lot tighter in this form, but you're still wearing it. Yeah, it's like it's now body hugging you, like when the Rock's t-shirts are always like 2 sizes too small for his body, you know.
Is Aiden the only character that's not an animal?
What?
Is Aiden the only character that I played that isn't some sort
Yes.
of connection with the animal?
Yes.
Apparently, are you a furry and you're not telling anybody?
Is this my persona? Oh no!
This is your persona.
You've got a cat, a rat, and a dog.
And a bird.
And
You
a
forgot the
bird.
bird.
And a bird.
You played a kangaroo.
Oh,
We can make a
no.
I mean, if
Oh, man.
Aiden has
No, I wasn't
horns,
furry.
does he count as a goat?
Oh,
Is it a goat or a cow?
Kambing. You hit the full menagerie. Zato, please take a full restoration.
and I wanted to play a snake person.
Oh yeah, you wanted to play a snake
person. You had that Yuan-Ti thought of.
Yeah, the Yuan-Ti. Oh my god.
Shit.
Rex, you're everything.
It's okay, Rex. It's a self-discovery journey.
Wait, you got 2 more that you need to fill up, which is a Loxodon and a Turtle.
No, he's playing a turtle. He's playing a turtle for the one shot.
No,
He's playing a turtle at Permaflora.
Loxodon.
No, you forgot one more. You still haven't played a lizard folk yet.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Wait,
Maybe he's
Dragonborn?
Yeah.
Dragonborn?
Well, lizard
Or a
folk
kobold.
is, lizard folk. Whatever.
Actually, satires would be quite hard as well. I mean, they are kind of animal as well, but
Yeah, no, and satires tend to be very limited to that particular set.
I mean, not centaur, satires.
Satyrs.
Satyr.
They are
satyr.
more
Blah, blah.
specific for the Theros settings.
Yeah.
They might be a little weirdly OP in a normal setting.
Nearing end of D? Not really, right?
Yeah. All right.
I mean,
I can't remember. There's some reason why like normally they don't let Satyr PCs. Well, I mean, there's no reason you can't have a Satyr PC, but it's just like
I think it's mostly because you said that you weren't sure how Eberron plays or something like
Yeah.
that.
No, this is not Eberron. This is Theros. It's the
Ravnica, is
pseudo. Not Ravnica. Mythic Odysseys of Theros, which is basically like pseudo Greek Roman mythology verse. It's the the mythic fantasy setting of like gods and heroes type and demigods type. So when you're playing on the level, like your character could become literal a demigod or could be descended from the gods. It's that kind of power level? Question mark.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it sounds pretty fun. Like I wouldn't mind trying it sometime, but I don't have the source book, and I feel like that's like another kettle of fish. But if someone read it, it's like, oh, that might be pretty fun. Crap, what was I gonna say again? So, yeah. Virna,
You want to ask me how long was he running in that form all this time?
probably about an hour maximum. I don't know. Ozato, how long are you staying in that for? Maximum time, or are you at some point turn back into yourself?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this form.
We have so,
It feels great. This is
the
your
rest of everyone else
first
has so many
time.
questions.
You're a freaking genius, man. You're like, yeah, I got this, right off the bat,
So Netherlord say he just got back and showered, disinfecting his stuff.
I see. Yeah, that's probably gonna take him. We'll see. Might be back for the just if we do an end session recap for him.
Maybe.
We saved the dog.
We saved the dog. Corin almost died.
You saved
saved
two
another
dogs.
dog.
You saved two
saved
dogs.
two
You gained a
dogs.
You
third
found
dog.
another dog.
You gained another dog.
I see. Curse of Straw is actually the curse of dog. Okay.
There were so many dogs. There are so many dogs.
Can I get an increase in charisma because like I'm a golden retriever now or something? I'm a Labrador.
By
I have Labrador vibes.
To do with dogs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so fast forward about an hour later, you're on your
Look at that pitiful Eevee.
Rex, while you were not around, I mentioned that you already, by the time you kind of reach this point, you have to use up one torch already, so you can remove one torch from your inventory. It's like burned to nothing already. You're on second one. And then you approach farmland, like actual farmland. The first part of it that you reach looks very abandoned, but as you proceed further, you start seeing more actual like cultivated land. Although the houses on that land are like dark, or like so small. A couple of them have small, like what might be candlelight inside. And as you approach, you go along the road further, you start seeing the outline of an actual village with actual lights in different buildings. The very occasional lamp on the outside the door.
I retrieved my phone.
You are now a human again. You feel slightly less epic now.
Sad.
Well, that was an experience.
One thing, Vienna is looking like Z at him. But since we're not entirely out of the woods yet, so
Are
to
you gonna
say,
poke him again?
later maybe. But
I look at Vi. You might want to check your dagger to see if it's fit or not.
She said, Shianas, should I cut you again?
You know what? We're really close to the village. Let's go.
Ivan's like, ooh, violence! It's like, disappointed.
The answer is always violence.
Alright, so you have now reached an actual proper village.
Settlement?
A settlement. And as you kind of finally kind of you actually see like a few people hurriedly walking down the streets. There are buildings, actual like second story, some parts of actual second story buildings, around, mostly made of wood, some made of a little bit more like, like stone or mortar. Everything has a general air of like, as you're thinking, everything has a general like gloomy air. Overhead, it starts to drizzle on all of you. As like the dense fog that was over the lands. Even here, it seems to be a little bit in the streets, although more like at like below the knee level in places, and people it swirls as people walk through it. The ground underfoot is muddy, and the drizzle is now making things a little bit muddier. It's very quiet in the village, and you hear occasional like murmurs. You can all make a perception check.
I'll make a perception check, but I also want to ask, I'm looking for one thing or something in particular for whatever we see there.
So bad.
But it's not a very complicated thing that I want to ask for.
Okay.
I just want to know the people that we can see people in the village, right?
Yes, you can see people in the streets, kind of like from a distance, but as you walk closer, they seem to like, some of them like kind of glance over at you guys, and they kind of immediately like, stiffen, and they just hurry away from you. You can hear them like power walking through the mud.
Can Vienna be able to tell if they are human, elven, or what?
That's why I asked you to make perception checks.
Okay.
Corin, it makes sense because it's dark as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Zato, you're at disadvantage because it's dark. It's like dim light, so it's hard for you to tell. Vierna, dark vision. Anyway, the faces you catch, you don't catch like every single face, and most of them have their backs turned to you as they're walking away from you. But from the occasional glance, you see like that one's human, a human man, human lady, with a child, walking with her child, one like an older, like maybe like in their 60s, one youth, and they all seem to kind of, they don't make eye contact with you, and they kind of seem to try and walk a little away from you, a distance away from you. As you pass like some of the houses, you can actually hear a door like hurriedly shut, and like a door lock, not like a bolt slide.
Do I see
But they
it?
are mostly human, from what I'm understanding.
As all you see so far are humans.
Do
Okay,
I
in that
see a
case.
human? Because I rolled a 1.
Sorry, you just see
Do
a
I-
bunch. You see a bunch of like hooded figures. You're like shadows. No.
I too wish to bring up my hood, so because in a place full of humans, there's a chance that people don't like drow.
Hey, what's up?
Yep.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
you're back.
Sorry. I'm back.
Oh,
Meeting Galahad.
I did not harass Vi, but that's because the situation felt too lethal to do so. So
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay. I think my family can take her on a one-on-one. Especially when she had 5 HP.
That was after she long rested and now it has 31 HP.
I was just looking at. Oh, I see. Imps are not arts. Imps have resistance to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing from non-silver weapons.
Uh-huh.
Why still has a silver dagger?
Uh-huh. But does she know that?
No, probably not, but she has.
I think you
but-
rolled. Did you roll? You rolled pretty decently for Arcana on the imp, so I think you do know that. It was you and.
I roll Arcana 12.
Well, yeah, I'd say you don't know much about the 9 hells part of it, but it's like you stab an imp, where you want to stab an imp, you probably need silver for that.
Writes down use silver against
Sta-
him.
Stab Ivan.
Why is Galahad way out there?
Because he has long strider, man.
Yes.
She made him go fast.
Because you see, we've been walking all day, and I'm like, walking all day can be good for a dog. So okay, let's make the dog go faster.
So
That makes him walk more.
He can run faster, and he can keep up.
Yeah, to make a very brief summary of what actually happened, you guys left the house and traveled for quite a long distance. Dark eventually caught up to you. You decided to push on instead of camping, and while you were pushing on, you were attacked by wolves who, harried you for like, quite viciously. Like nine, you got whacked. But you also killed one, so you got your 10 HP.
Mm-hmm.
You have used your Misty Step, and
I did.
yes, because you were surrounded for a moment. But then the wolves abruptly stopped and then retreated, and there was one unusual wolf that did not attack but just stood there watching. And then you all hurried further to the village. There were some
Did the wolf
shenanigans
follow?
along the way. Sorry?
Also,
Did the wolf follow?
No.
I'm a
He
dog.
walked away. Also Zato's a
What?
dog. Also Zato's a dog too.
What?
No, he went full devil trigger mode, devil lycan trigger mode.
But all he did is turn into a wolf.
Devil wolf,
Wolf.
Devil may wolf.
devil way wolf.
I also found out that I am secret furry.
We also found out that he's a secret furry because we were saying like the only non-animal character he's played is Aiden.
Dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun.
dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun, dun.
You learned something very uncomfortable.
That's an uncomfortable
Advices.
truth today. Roll a charisma saving throw.
dun, dun, dun,
Alright, so I moved this off the battle map more because this is now you're now in the village essentially, which you know believe may be the Barovia that Rose mentioned to you guys, since you follow the road all the way and this is the first village you've come across since. As you walk through the streets, you notice, well, at least, overhead. It's very dark overhead, so you can't even see the sky again. It's cloudy, but for a moment there's a distant crackle of lightning as it's drizzling, and you see silhouetted high above the village this tall cliff, series of cliffs, and perched right on top of one of those cliffs overlooking the village is what looks like a tall fortress or a castle. Arcus, I noted to them that you see people a few people walking the streets. Most the ones who you tried to get a bit closer to kind of look at you guys suspiciously and hurry away. And
Okay.
people you hear like the sound of like some doors closing, as you like in the streets, and then like the sound of like a locked door.
Okay.
Virna has noticed that so far the people in the streets appear human.
Okay.
Yes.
Has she stabbed Zato yet?
I think there was an offer.
Because he made the smart comment that she should check her dagger to see whether it's fake, and she was like, "Would you like me to try again?"
Yes. So
Okay.
I thought Korean song. Say, hey, are those figures the same as the one where we fought Walter before?
Do I know?
I was talking about the humans.
yeah, because Zato rolled a shitty perception, so to him they all look like lightly.
I mean,
they all look like shades.
his perception is even more shit, by the way.
Because you know
Yeah,
it's all
that.
dimly, it's all lightly obscured. So
Yeah. So Corin is just gonna shrug and be like, "Bruh, I can't see anything."
Some lanterns.
Yeah, but you can't just shine the damn lantern on people.
You can, not with that attitude.
not with that attitude.
It's
I go-
lanterns. This
I
is
go towards the
anyone.
spy. I go towards spy to ask the same question, but hold myself and then turn to Arcus. Hey Arcus, are those figures the same as the one before?
Looks at him. Did I have any reactions to him going?
I did not roll play
Corgi
that
trigger.
reaction. I did not role play that trigger. But basically, yeah. So when the battle started, he immediately you saw
Corgi triggered.
him like kind of down a small vial of something that glowed with a faint red light, and then he basically like transformed into the
Corgi?
devil doggo trigger, and blasted away at some wolves, that sort of thing. Yeah. So if you wish to give a go over how Arcus would have reacted, please feel free.
How does Zato's Corgi trigger look like?
Rex, go ahead and describe.
I assume it's the one in the meme.
The meme?
I feel like going to the meme channel.
Yeah.
Well, the difference is Zato is standing on his two legs. Right. Basically, he looks like a lycanthrope, but part of his arm isn't covered in fur. Instead, a little bit scaly with blue veins underneath it.
He's a Sonic lycanthrope.
That is extremely disturbing.
That's two intersections of
Essentially,
venom.
he
You don't
looks-
want to.
he looks like a bit of a werewolf, but definitely unlike any werewolf you've ever seen or heard of. Possibly, you've not even seen them, but what you've heard described of them is like, this is weird as shit.
And yeah,
Don't
Sonic is
forget,
my
we have
persona.
cut him before.
Yeah.
A persona. Okay. Well, I guess I'll refrain from the reactions until I roughly catch up to what the hell is happening.
Okay.
So, we arrive in town. There was a tall castle looming over it. We see people in the streets. I don't know what time it is, but as soon as they see any of us approaching,
It
They'll
is
run.
basically
Night,
at this point like already deep night, like solid night. When you were fighting the
Okay.
wolves about almost 1 to 2 hours ago, it was already night. Because you guys were trying
Okay.
to push to try and reach rather than overnight on the road.
Okay.
Yeah. So you made it. There are not too many people on the streets, probably because it's already dark and people seem to be making an effort to go. There's the occasional cart being like a wheelbarrow being pushed manually by someone full of sacks. Off in the distance you can actually hear like some old lady vendor calling out fresh baked pies. Fresh baked pies, lovely dream pies, lovely meat pies, lovely veggie pies. But like very like already like late kind of like just like token token effort.
Have we had anything to eat in the last 1.5 days besides the tasteless
The
food?
the
Nope.
plain,
We tried,
Alright, but it didn't work.
plain.
we tried foraging, but
It was really bad. The rolls were so bad.
Can I
Oh,
try
so
a
bad.
retroactive one?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Get a retroactive one.
Do I have advantage if I have
Yeah, sure. I guess he's helping? Question mark. Either helping or hindering.
no big difference.
Not great. Not,
Oh, well.
not great. You find like maybe some scrubby moorland berries and stuff, but like enough for like a snack, but nothing that like really makes like a meal.
Well, I suppose then instincts would drive me to be like, I don't know about you people, but I sure am hungry. Remember, we haven't eaten anything for substantial for 1.5 days. This is the day after we've left, or how many days has passed?
It's the same day as you've left. You left in the
We,
morning.
we just haven't eaten anything
It's a
human-like.
long trek. You've walked like close to 30 miles.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been a long walk.
Yeah. Corin, something's nestling on your head. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. I could eat this guy.
he's just gonna stare and like, yeah. You can have some of these, though. Like he takes out the tasteless, the bland ass food.
No. You see, I only like gourmet food. This, yeah. You, on the other hand, you look quite tasty. Maybe some salt and pepper.
Like he's just gonna nod and be like,
Too?
Sorry.
He eats humans too?
Yes. Why not?
Not with that attitude.
I mean, out of all of us, I would assume that you'd be the one most okay with eating humans, actually.
yeah. I'll just say that like Corin already gone through shit and went down to single digit HP. At this point, he's just like nodding, like, yeah, but we gotta get some pepper and salt first. And
Meat pies, vegetable pies.
Sure, I guess that's my vote.
Grandma.
I mean, Corin is fine with getting some food, but do they have the funds?
We
I
should.
ran straight towards the
And-
grandma.
Good question. We should have the funds. I think we got some money.
You knew like
Yeah.
while you guys are discussing the options, like Zato just goes boom like straight for the. So you see this kind of like old grandma, in a hood, like she kind of has pulled up her hood a bit against the drizzle as well, and she's just finished. Like there's like another person like buying, like, you know, there you see like her, she's pushing a little hand cart with like little boxes of like pies of like you know, not, you know, like it's like one, probably like one person one pie normally, that kind of portion, you know, not a huge one. Not many left in the like, maybe only like 2 or 3 you can see left in the empty trays, and she's just selling like, she's just taking like another 2 more and giving it to this person, you know, and the person's like, oh, thank you very much, and it's like, and you see like money change hands, you know, and then the person like hurries away, like the person like is taking the pies, sees you guys sees Zato coming, and is like and just like hurries away.
The money, is it like our money?
Retroactively, Arcus, can you make a perception check?
Sure.
Because that was a point of note, a detail I realized I forgot to mention.
Okay.
You know, for it's just like, it just seems like, you know,
It's fair. It's small.
gold is gold, you know. It's like like you can't, you know, it's just a moment, you just see like the glint of gold, and that's about it, you know.
But reminder that I did loot money from the mansion.
Yeah.
Does it look similar to money that we're used to?
So as you take out, like, you check out the coin, you notice that number one, the coins look fairly old. I guess it's like been long, worn down thing. It does not look like money used to. The head stamped on it is that of a, like, the silhouette of some man in profile. It looks a little reminiscent of the statue you guys saw in the basement.
Okay. Ivan will contort his face to look like the statue. I assume it's a side profile, right?
Yeah, it's, you know, the typical side profile, they stamp on the coin kind of thing.
Yeah, so you know, he'll contort his face a little bit and put his claw so that he
It's
looks
like
a little bit like he.
trying to put the chin out, you know, and like,
Yeah,
like that.
and it's
That nobleman profile kind of thing.
If only this world is as beautiful as me.
Oh my god.
The granny looks at Zato. Since Zato's the first to
Is she
charge
human?
in. She's also human. She has a pretty kindly face. I actually had the handout for this.
Oh.
Let's see.
I have no money at all, so I mean,
also
Corin
have
has
no
no
money.
money at all.
Yeah.
Neither does Vienna.
I found a decent picture, you know.
Because
Yeah.
was the one who had a small
Ooh.
pouch or
Yeah, so
something.
kind of weird. No fancy jewelry lah, like, you know, more humble clothes than this. But you know, I found a decent picture of what I was thinking of. So you know,
That's
she
good.
kind of looks up at you. So, oh well, now you're look at you. You're all bones. We should put some food in your belly.
I look at her and say, human? Oh my god, it's a human! I give her a hug.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I
so
sh-
crying.
Corin just kind of looks. Corin just looks offended, like you've never given me a hug before like that.
she
And
kind of
I'm
like,
human.
she's like, yes, I think yes, very very human. I mean, she kind of like looks over your shoulder and sees, well, Virna is wearing hood, so perhaps not so obvious, but sees Arcus with
Wait, I have a
horn.
cloak. I have a cloak,
You
right?
have a cloak, but you also have those
Yeah,
huge
with a
ass
horn, yeah.
horns.
That's true.
And you know, I assume Ivan is invisible or in an innocuous form, but, you know, that kind of. And she's like, oh, her eyebrows raised. Oh my, there's your visitor, strangers to town. Oh, she's like a little awkwardly, but kind of well-meaningly patting Zato on the back.
I look at that to say, guys, it's a human! It's a living thing!
Corin just stares at
She's like,
Zato like
excuse you, young man, you
offended.
don't call people things.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
What manners have you been? He's like, you know. But she's still like, kind of like, you're all. Oh, you all look like you've had quite a rough time of it. She kind of like looks at the. Well, you're no surprising given the state of the roads all these times. Ah, well, she kind of like she only has like one pie left because the other customer took
Okay.
the remaining
Sad.
stock. It's like, well, I'm afraid I've only got the vegetable one left. You know, here, you should have something to put in your stuff. She just like takes the pie and puts it in Zato's hand.
I eat it.
You what?
Sorry, you cut out for a moment.
I eat it.
You eat it.
You eat the pie. So it's like, it's probably like it was baked in the morning and then it's been out all day. And she does have like a little cover over the cut, so it's not like wet. But actually, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty delicious still, even though it's
Not
cold.
bad.
Maybe it's because it's the first thing you've eaten in the last maybe 48 hours that wasn't like plain.
Blend.
It wasn't plain.
It
It
was
actually has salt and pepper.
It actually has seasoning, and like even though it's a vegetable pie, it's like, oh, this is actually quite good and filling with the seasoning and the herbs. Are you
Zato-
are you
Zato
sharing or are
started
you just
crying.
eating?
Zato started crying.
Oh
Bend
my. Oh my! Oh, you've really. Well, you should. If you should all go grab. I don't have anything left, but if you go to the she kind of like points at the down the sort of like she points you down a particular road. You follow the main road and you take a left turning around there, and you just walk until you see the big crossroads at the center of the village, and you find the blood of the Vine Tavern. You want the blood of the Vine Tavern. That's a reasonable. Should be open still. The all hours. You can definitely get something more than this. Just this bit of pie. I'm sure.
Vienna looks at well, she says, does the village have anything against outsiders? And she says, if you don't mind me say, yeah, if I may say so, everyone seems to be quite afraid of us.
Well, it's you're, and now that you're closer, I'm assuming you did not use disguise self.
I did not disguise
You
self,
did
no.
not use disguise self. And
Did
now
you just assume?
I don't just assume your cantrips.
Is that a cantrip?
Wait, so I don't just
That's a
assume
known spell.
I just don't assume your known spells. Crap, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought, damn it.
Something about Devon.
Yes. She kind of like well, it's been hard times for a long time, you should understand, and very rarely get strangers in the village. I think it's been quite some time since the last I've heard. Especially strangers. No offense intended, dearie. She kind of like pets Vienna on the arm. She's quite short. She's probably only like 4, like maybe just barely like 5 feet because Benko over already, and she kind of looks at Arcus. No offense, my dear, but these people with your features very unusual and often. She kind of like hesitates and it's like troubles, as it were.
Oh, but I assure you, ma'am, I'm very much human at heart. Been human most of my life. Stuff has happened.
Not for a moment you're gonna tell him, but ma'am, I've been in trouble all my life. And I was like,
I'm in trouble all my life.
I was like that's a way to confess something, but sure.
Yeah. She kind of like, she says like, it's not that you are trouble, but you, well, trouble tends to follow strangers. So understandably, most people would rather not be too close when that happens.
That is understandable. Where did you say the closest, well,
Yes.
inn would be?
The tavern. The tavern. It's the blood of the vine. You'll find it right at the You just follow this main road down, and then you take a turning on your left. And that'll take you. You won't miss it. It's one. It's the biggest one on the left, and the lights are still on. The only other one about as big is Bildras Mercantile, and the old Skinflint doesn't open this hour. He just doesn't open his shop at this hour.
Alright then, sounds good. Looks at Zato. I assume he finished the pie. Because it's bite sized, right? It's like
It's the the one one tin for
7-Eleven one.
like the 7-Eleven.
It's so easy to go and so easy to describe it that way.
yeah, about 7-Eleven size. I was thinking, yeah.
It's roughly bite sized, right? I doubt there'd be any left.
Zato,
7-Eleven.
is it all gone?
We just
No.
stare at it.
It's all gone. You ate the
All
whole.
gone.
All gone.
Yeah, I mean, if it's that small, 2 bites and it's gone.
It was so
Please do.
It was
No,
so good. It's
Corin
like
still feels that.
you're like, oh, I could become a vegetarian for this.
Corin still feels sad about a human comment, like, am I not human?
You're not human enough to be considered human, clearly.
Dog.
All right. Well, you good luck with you. Dairies, and take care and put some meat on that. And look at that. She slaps like Zato's ass. It's like there's nothing there.
Zato, you get it. You get slapped on the other side of the other butt cheek as well.
Wow.
From Ivan?
Young
Where?
young folks should eat. That's how you'll attract a good partner. People like people with some meat in their bones.
Vienna mata under breath and less fur.
Wow.
Where?
Wow, Vern.
Where?
Vern.
Asshole.
Butt cheek.
Alright, well, have a good evening, dearies. Take care. And she kind of covers her cart and trundles off slowly.
Bye, Grandma.
You're welcome, Sonny.
Aw.
Yeah, so you guys, and you guys look down so you're kind of standing in something of like it's a village. The roads of the streets of the village kind of seem to converge into like a central point, at least, where most of the more commercial-looking buildings are. But you notice that a lot of the buildings that look like they could be shops are all like closed, boarded up. Like not just closed, but like boarded up, dark. Barely lights in a number of them. But eventually, following the granny's directions, you arrive in sort of, I guess, the village square, and you do see, on one side of the square there is, about like a mid-sized building with the signboard, Bildraths written in common, and then like a picture of like like a hammer and some some tools painted on the board. And then on the other side of the square there is a kind of the biggest building you've seen yet, and with actual lights piercing through the windows, looking nicely bright through all the heavy fog, like actual lots of lighting inside there. And there's a sign hanging over the door, a little bit sideways, calling it the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
Is it noisy?
It's fairly quiet, but you do hear like the occasion, like you do kind of, the doors are not like closed, it's those tavern swinging doors kind of thing. You can see like a few people seated at some tables inside, huddled over there, close to the fire, the main fireplace.
There's no drunken half-elf trying to make skunk smells.
Not yet.
We don't have a half elf.
You don't have a half elf.
Not yet.
Vi, it's up to you.
No, thank you.
Now with that attitude.
Sasuga vai desu. Sasuga vai desu. So just it's not kind of like a general. Just imagine this is a nighttime scene, but I don't have the nighttime version of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Anyone want to take the lead, or
I mean, if we're going into a crowded area, Vi would probably be the type who hangs back slightly. So you guys would probably go in first.
I'm hungry.
Go for.
I'm going.
Go for.
I'm going in. So I mean, taking care to make my horns as less conspicuous in my tail. Unfortunately, I have a big purplish pink tail.
Yes, you are very conspicuous, unfortunately. So the moment you enter a tavern, so you see that there's the bartender behind the counter just cleaning a glass. There's like a group of a pair here, a trio there of human, mostly men. The two and like the group of two kind of like look at you and then like kind of like huddle down with their drinks. The trio also like the trio are clad a little more colorfully, I would suppose to say, than most of the people you've seen so far. They have like bright red scarves tied around their necks, where most people have been wearing like heavy dour cloaks and grey clothing and that sort of thing. They kind of like eyeing you with interest. And then you also see one more man sitting by himself closest to the fire, drinking from a mug, and he's kind of like sitting by the fire, but his face is turned towards the door, and he was like deep in thought. But he sees you come in with your big ass horns and your big ass tail, and his eyebrows immediately like shoot up, like, and he's kind of like gives you like an appraising look, and like and like kind of like just watching you with interest. Like he's
pulls down my hood, revealing the long horns poking out the temples as well as sharp ears, and looks around the tavern, sees all this, looks behind. While the rest doing?
Yes, Zato.
Is it like a chill tavern or?
Yeah, as you kind of like push in, it's fairly quiet. There's only like a few tables are only about 3 tables are occupied. One of the people at the table or tree is just strumming a lute and playing a tune. Kind of like glances up when you guys and looks at you guys and then goes back to playing his lute.
Does anyone flinch when I unveil my hood?
The couple the duo at the table kind of like flinch a bit and then kind of like start hurrying their drinks. The trio watch you with a certain level of interest and then kind of like lean over to each other, and there's like a moment of murmuring, and one of them gets up and just kind of walks off. He actually walks off to behind the counter, past the bartender, and just like goes through a back to the door leading to the back of the tavern and goes away. The lute player just continues playing his lute, like as pretty absorbed. The lone man who's been watching you, kind of like stands up from the table and is like, "Well, visitors to town, come, let me buy you some drinks. It's not often we have such a sight."
Insight.
Too friendly. The friendliest character immediately inside check. Holy shit.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I walk past him and say, "Hey, boss man, bring me some warm food." and
Arcus,
I'm gonna be
he
busy
seems
eating.
fairly straightforward, since.
Okay.
So,
Regardless of how it is, it's best to get information anyways.
so
Yep.
yeah, he.
Yeah.
Yes, food as well. You must be fairly hungry. Come, join. This table's certainly big enough for far too many people.
Zato's gonna be busy eating his food, and that is where I need to leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
Guys,
so
it
I
was
think.
fun.
Yeah, I think I will pick up. That's probably a good place to pick up because there'll be a conversation after this, probably. So
Okay.
we will continue Curse of Strahd there with a, for once, not a cliffhanger ending. And I will.
Just
give-
normal conversation.
It's just a normal
That was
conversation.
possible.
Yeah, let me
You say-
let me show you the picture of the guy.
You say that, but then imagine as Rex is like, "Bye guys, roll for initiative." Wait.
Rex says, it's okay, I can stay for another 2
Yeah.
minutes.
Now let me just show you guys the, since I have the handout for this.
Ooh.
Yes.
The square jaw.
Is this my answer?
Yeah.
Nicola. Oh, where are you,
Nicola.
Nicola?
This is what.
this
See,
Matt-
this
is
is.
this Matt Mercer?
So no, see, this is why I was like, Nicola wouldn't be a bad hit in this game because there's also very handsome people here.
Is this Matt Mercer?
There's some
Yeah.
that might hit her charm point. There's some that might hit her charm points.
That's
this-
in the game.
That's in the game. You joke, but there is a cameo of Matt Mercer in like Waterdeep Dragon Heist, like an actual cameo.
Wow.
As Matt Mercer.
Just as a joke, like in a joke, like a joke map that they did to include like all the characters in the campaign, and then just randomly inserted an Easter egg Matt Mercer in one corner there.
Does he throw foam noodles at people? Yeah.
All right, see you guys.
All right,
See
so
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Oh.
So that's where we'll stop for today.
Okay.
If you want if you want catch up, or if not, you need to run. I'm probably here about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or you
Right,
can
so-
The good thing about the good thing is because today I'm not recording, it's Cloud's recording, and today is mostly mostly theater of mine. So even the parts where Chrome
kind of
flipped out,
flipped a bit, yeah.
yeah. So it didn't really affect
Apparently,
much.
it just didn't really like battle maps for some reason. Because now, like I'm looking back at it, it's recording the cuts. I mean, the little scene cuts fine. Anyway, I'm stopping the recording now.